And here we are back again. We're getting ready for Secret versus Beastcoast. It's the TI-10 D stream. BSJ. Oh, sorry. that was not a reaction to seeing you.
I was about to say, so it's that bad, huh? Jeez. It's only been one series, man.
You know, we got a few more to get through.
Yeah,
it's going to be we're a bit behind schedule, but we're getting back thanks to EG with the...
Thank you, EG.
Yep, thanks, EG. Oh, the game was not that short. That was like a 45, 50-minute game.
Yeah, it was just back and forth.
Very enjoyable games. We've had some close ones, even though there's been a lot of 2-0s. Something that you kind of thought might happen a bit.
Yeah, it's... I don't know. Is it a good thing or a bad thing when there's a lot of 2-0s? You know, because that means like the good teams are convincingly good, but does that mean like the underdogs aren't necessarily stepping up? You know, what exactly is causing it? In the case of the first game, I don't mind when it's a 2-0, meaning like T1 got outmaneuvered at a few points, but it was a very back and forth. Like a few things really had to go EG's way, but in the second game, it really felt like EG was just the better team. Yeah. And I think we're poised for a similar situation to potentially happen here with Team Secret versus Beastcoast, as Team Secret is 2-0.
Yep.
And Beastcoast is 0-2 coming into this series.
Secret played against Spirit and Beastcoast played against... was it a Chinese team, I want to say?
I didn't actually take their opponents down. I should have. I have their drafts, but I don't have their opponents. Putting me on the spot here. I think it was IG.
Yeah, I mean, the viewers
or
are...
VG.
It's what this isn't one of the things I'm calling you out, or anyone is, I think.
Remaining.
Yeah, I think it's VG. I think they played against VG.
Yeah, I mean, there's 4 games going on at once. It's craziness here. We're trying to watch on 4 different streams. We're trying to get ready for casts and whatnot. And, you know, there's 3 other streams going on right now with results that we don't have a clue. So, but yeah. Secret, funnily enough, right after their series, when we came up to get ready for our cast, Puppy was just in a pub game. He's like, yeah, we just won our first series of the day. I'm going to go play some Spirit Breaker. So that was his warm-up for this series. He said, we don't... I mean, I imagine when they saw the groups, they did all their prep for today in terms of drafts, and Puppy didn't feel like he needed to do any more. He just wanted to stay warmed up.
Puppy generally doesn't pub all year, and here he is. So TI, clearly a big enough occasion for him to step it up. Nah, I mean, as a captain, as a 5 position and competitive who's been playing for like 12 years, Puppy just doesn't have to pub all that often. I feel like mechanically, I envy him. You know, how is he so good at these like micro heroes and stuff? And I'm like, I think the average mortal has to practice.
Yeah,
consistently. And I guess he's scrimming, right? But usually that's what pubs are for, is to like brush up on your mechanics. And it doesn't feel like he has to do that. But Spear Breaker, definitely a hero that you need to practice going into.
Remaining.
Practice those bashes.
Sure to hone that 17%.
Yeah. He always strikes me as someone who could be like a very talented core player. Like, he's just that skilled.
Yeah, but I don't think you can replace his captain.
Oh, no.
That's kind of
that is a huge rarity in Dota. He is, you know, in that group, very small group of maybe 2 or 3 captains of just like best captains of all time, and also just best captain in the game right now. Like, he's up there, top 3 at least.
Now, with the way the meta's getting played, which is very fast-paced, skirmishes all over the map, early tower pressure from heroes like Lycan, I'm personally surprised we haven't seen as much Nature's Prophet as we have seen so far. There has been, I think, this is the first one I've seen.
I saw one. I think maybe Secret. Did they have it in their last series? When we're watching while we're waiting, there was like a.
Yeah, they did have a Nature's Prophet today. Actually, it was later on in the draft.
5 seconds remaining.
It was offlane with a 4-position Monkey King. So I guess pretty similar with the Shaker.
Shaker, yeah.
I mean, Tusk Silencer already making Shaker's job in the game pretty hard. Silencer combo breaker, or Shaker alone is his own combo. Echo Slam into Fissure.
And when you see Tusk and Beastcoast, it's not necessarily a support. We've not been thrilled about the double support pickups, but Whisper loves to play this offlane Tusk as well, so this could theoretically be a 3-position hero.
Yeah, we've seen it. The Echo Saber build. I don't know how I feel about it. There's just like certain carries where we saw PL from Secret earlier against it. If you just don't die to the Tusk,
5 seconds
the Tusk offlane feels kind of underwhelming. The whole like purpose of the kid is that he just one-shots you full to 0.
It seems like a laning stage specialty, but then after the laning stage, if you're not snowballing, it's problematic.
Literally. That one never gets old. You know, as a pun man myself, there's
Yeah.
some of them that
Beastcoast's
you always
turn to
find yourself
battle.
circling back to, and that is one of the archetypes for sure.
The best is like you just kind of walk into them. Like it's like I didn't plan on it. As soon as it happened, I'm like, all right, let's roll with it.
Yeah.
I'm going down that line.
Okay, so they ban out the Lina. That's Nisha
10
special.
seconds
A
remaining.
lot of teams have prioritized
Yeah.
Lina, but Nisha particularly.
5
does
seconds
love that hero.
remaining. Team Secrets turn to
Also, a
battle.
lot of pressure. I think you want a hero that conveniently, like, shoves lanes, but also plays off map a pretty good amount. That just walks to the Nature's Prophet lane at some point, where the Nature's Prophet's going to be consistently pushing your tower, consistently making you put your body there in order to defend it, and then one of those
10
times you're just going to
seconds
randomly die to
remaining.
Alina. You know, that's the kind of hero that you want to pair with it. I think.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
Seeing some more bans come out. I do want to just take a few steps back, look at, bird's eye view. Team Secret, I personally feel like they are coming in like intentionally as underdogs, and like to me, I put them on the same tier as EGLGD. Like to me, those are like the three favorites here. I think we saw such a year of dominance from them during 2020 when they won like 5 grand finals in a row 3-0, and I think this DPC they just kind of chilled a bit.
Yeah, which is weird. Usually they're super tryhard all year,
Yeah.
and then they kind of flop a little bit at TI compared to what you'd expect. I mean, flopping for Secret was like 4th. Like compared to what they performed during
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
year, it's all perspective. It is a flop, but this year, I expect Secret to get top 5 personally.
Yeah.
I would put them as one of my favorites with the caliber of players that they
Yes.
have, and they have not expended all of their success during the season.
For sure. It feels like, there's a very different mentality coming in. And also the player and team that's knocked them out for like the last 3 TIs not here. Kuro has been Puppy's undoing for many TIs in a row. So that bodes well for him. It's kind of like you just keep getting knocked out by the same guy.
What's a Superman do when Kryptonite's gone? He takes it all, man.
So it could be different. Yeah, and I think for Secret themselves, I think even top 5, top 6. I think they're at least expecting top 3 or something. Like,
Yeah.
Obviously, any team in that elite group wants is hoping for first place, but I feel like another top 6 for Secret that isn't what they won't be happy with that.
Yeah, they're not. They're not going to be happy with anything less than top 3, maybe top 2.
10
But
seconds remaining.
Beastcoast, on the other hand, is this not the exact same roster
5
as
seconds remaining.
Infamous?
Yeah, and it's one of the teams that's like stuck around the longest.
Yeah.
It's been and that's what's great about the DPC is like suddenly we're seeing this stability in regions that weren't usually known for stability.
Yeah, I wanted to confirm just because I'm almost certain, but they have not looked convincing on LAN. Both they first didn't show up to the first LAN,
10
so that's an easy
seconds
way to not be
remaining.
convincing. And then they didn't make it out of the group stage at the Animajor. So
5 seconds
Beastcoast
remaining.
0-2 so far, haven't shown anything at LANs this year. They've shown that Hector can be one of the scariest farmers in the entire world. They play the 4 protect game as good as any. Last series we saw him be on the Naga and the Sven. They did come up short in both those being 0-2, but he did get farmed. So far, they see the carry matchup already. They have a lot of space makers, disruptive supports, Silencer as well as Tusk. Timbersaw as an offlaner, his whole job in the game is pretty much to make space for the carry, whether or not that's pressuring the opponent's tier 1 towers or protecting your own. Against heroes like Nature's Prophet, you can kind of just be the wall that prevents him from getting your towers. In theory, he's nice to protect your towers, but I like him more against Chen, for instance, because Chen goes to a tower and he's committed. He's got all of his creeps there. On the other hand, Nature's Prophet just says, oh, I forced a Timbersaw to TP, I'm just going to go somewhere else. And they look like they've
Ooh,
demoted it to 5 Prophet
Yeah.
or mid Prophet.
It's either been demoted or upgraded.
Yeah.
Which way are we going? Definitely
Okay.
something Secret have played. Oh, they play in all 3 core roles. Like Nisha plays it, Matu plays it, and I
10
plays it.
seconds
So
remaining.
Yeah, it's almost certainly a carry Ursa. Hero that's been underwhelming,
5
I would
seconds
say.
remaining.
It has been a stack meta for a long time. They did nerf stacks, which buffed Ursa slightly because he definitely never farms them. You're no longer going the Battle Fury build of old. Being the hyper carry, we're almost always seeing the diffusal blade into run at you, secure the early Roshan. It's really nice if you can skip the Morbid with a hero like Nature's Prophet who has summons to tank the Rosh for you, because you'll kill it really fast. You're also meant to shut down the Timbersaw early, so he has a clear purpose in the game. And they go for Sven, who in theory is nice against Prophet because he clears the trees, but Team Secret's entire lineup kind of just says whoever puts their body in front of this trees is going to die. So I almost would have liked a hero that doesn't have to
10
put themselves in the
seconds
lane, but that's not the case here. So
5 seconds remaining.
if Beastcoast falls behind even slightly, they will get absolutely ran over. But they have very greedy heroes on Team Secret. They all need like that first item. Darkseer needs that first item. Ursa needs that first item. Nature's Prophet, wherever he goes, will need at least something. So Beast Coast, I think, functions a lot better with just levels.
Yeah. It's not one of those Darkseer games where it's paired up with like a really aggressive 4 that's looking to put pressure on it, feels like. It's a Darkseer that's looking to farm.
Turn to
Yeah.
ban.
Earthshaker's more about securing the lane rather than dominating the lane. And they banned the Ember Spirit.
Well, yeah, as far as Beast Coast, you're thinking just going to be offline Timber. They are going to actually play the Tusk as a support this time.
Yeah, I don't... Honestly, I've seen some
10
5
seconds
Timbers.
remaining.
Oh, yeah. I was thinking more
but
like mid-Timber.
I don't think he'll... I don't think Timber is a hero that gets countered and then you put him mid. I think he's more of a, oh, they picked Kunkka mid? Okay, fine, I'll put Timber mid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't like taking a crucial role out of the game on Timbersaw when he gets countered. The hero, it doesn't make you feel better to like dodge the lane. Ursa honestly doesn't lane against you very well. It's just once he gets level 7 on Ursa,
10
maybe even
seconds
level 8 or
remaining.
9, he starts to chew through you and represents that kill threat.
5 seconds
They ban the
remaining.
Invoker. Okay.
Well, Beast Coast will have that
Beast Coast's
final pick of the
turn to
draft. No
ban.
DK, no Ember. Have you felt like from your games and just watching games you watch like that, having that last pick of the draft is a big advantage still these days, or not as much?
People were commenting that first pick got heavily buffed because in the second round, you now get that Darkseer
10
pick, the 8th
seconds
pick
remaining.
overall, which you used to go to second pick. It used to be alternating. Now it's
5
first pick, then
seconds
2 picks
remaining.
from second pick, and then first pick again. But actually, in this case, sorry, Sven. So second pick has now been feeling more powerful. I'm like mixing up my two sides here. It's the fact that you have the
turn
2
to
later
pick.
picks to me that is so scary.
Yeah.
That Sven plus the response pick here. But honestly, I don't think I've seen too many drafts where it's just gotcha and you lose the game. I don't think a lot of the cheese heroes are very powerful right now. None of the Meepos, the Huskars, even Tinker,
10
who has a
seconds
really high pub win
remaining.
rate
Beast Coast's turn
with
to
the
ban.
rework, so he doesn't have to buy Boots of Travel anymore.
A lot of the cheese heroes were also just reworked and made less cheesy, I think.
Yeah.
That's something I think Iceberg was like, okay, we can make Dota less, wonky. And some heroes like
Absolutely.
Meepo just aren't that good right now. Brood, same thing, kind of
10
being a
seconds
bit overly nerfed.
remaining.
When the
TA?
cheese heroes are good, they're for you just pick them early.
5 seconds
Like when Brood's good,
remaining.
it's first 2 worthy. But yeah, and it's felt like that's been a trend maybe even for the last few years, where teams are just way better and overall, like they know how to draft. They don't get caught out by surprise by cheese picks.
It's amazing how hard it is to not get caught off guard, but if you get cheesed enough,
Yeah.
eventually you come prepared. I said TA, but then I see the Darkseer, and I immediately retract that statement.
Again, into the puck. What do Beast Coast want? They haven't got much time here.
Yeah, the DK's banned out. TA's kind of blocked. Just naming puck lane
It's-
counters right now. Okay.
Choose your hero.
They needed a Yule's builder. You need it against the Ion Shell Surge of Darkseer, which can both be dispelled. The Overpower of Ursa can be dispelled. You also want to Yule's him up in the air when he ults. And then you have the Silence from Puck. So a natural Yule's builder was definitely necessary. But I'm definitely leaning towards Team Secret's draft. I think Darkseer with a decent laning phase is terrifying. So my only concern is maybe those few early levels. I think Sven Silencer is way stronger than Earthshaker Darkseer, level 1 and 2. Like Darkseer needs that second point in Ion Shell. But if they can get past that, I think Secret's early game will just come online much faster.
Yeah. That's something I feel like, especially the viewers always notice. You see Beast Coast draft and you're like, 3 melee cores. And they've got an Ursa, even Puck, like Dream Call, locking these heroes down. It's hard to play with all these melee cores into Secret's heroes to some extent.
Yeah. Earthshaker alone is scary. This is 4
Yeah.
melee heroes, all of which have to be point. There are like melee heroes in the game that don't have to be point blank range to do their job, and these are all
True.
heroes that Tusk has to be casting tag team. Timbersaw's abilities are all on top of him. Same with Finn and Void Spirit. Void Spirit's not some backlining mid hero, you know. So if they ever get caught vacuum 3 or 4 heroes, they will all die.
Yeah, there is a lot of combo potential in this Team Secret team fight. See there, we're talking about Puppy in his pub games. He's got that level 20 Nature's Prophets, or something he is well versed in. Whispers Timbersaw, a classic for him. And here we are. We're going to hop
feels good to
ourselves
be
into
this good.
game
It feels
1.
good to be this good.
I haven't heard that one yet.
For battle.
I'm surprised. It's it's classic PPD. I love it.
Yeah, if you could name a more iconic voice line for who it represents, I don't think any of them do a better job.
I hope we see a bit more of that on the main stage. Not sure the EU teams are big PPD fans necessarily though, so maybe they won't be as on board the PPD spam. We'll have to figure out what the voice line meta is. You know, that's a meta in itself.
I think the voice line meta is how many languages can understand your voice line. Like the FE one is perfect because laughs are a global thing or universal thing, and then also like how many Dota situations can you say it where it will tilt the opponent.
Yeah.
I think that seems like a
30
really
seconds
important
to
aspect of the voice lines.
Beastcoast with an early invade, gonna come in, block some camps and everything. To deny some of that farm game. I think perhaps knowing that Shaker's going to be maybe spending a lot of time out of lane doing some stacks. I'm going to shut down those
It
shenanigans.
feels good to be this good.
It doesn't help.
It looks like maybe they're
The
dodging.
battle begins.
Oh no, they're just being aggressive. I got mixed up a little bit there.
Do you think it's tactical? Like they know, Secret EG have had those rivalries in the past. Does he bust out the PPD voice line just for Team Secret?
Team Secret seems like the team that would just mute everybody on the enemy team regardless. They're not even going to let you potentially tilt them with voice lines. And Secret's doing something really cool here, where they know Timbersaw kind of relies on being inside the creep wave in order to get those reactive stacks up if he wants to go for that. Or he wants to use Timber Chain to hit you and last hits at the same time. So they're confronting him. They're poising to confront him before he even enters the lane. And right now, Schofield is mid lane, warding the small camp and potentially looking to deward anywhere else. So he's not there yet. It's going to give Matu probably a free creep wave, which in a matchup like this, which is kill heavy one way or the other, can make a game-changing difference.
Yeah, he just can't come out. Puppy's just chilling with Treants, has the Blightstone too, so I mean, Timber, not much starting armor, does have the Ring of Protection, but that's tough for him. Take a look at some of these other lanes. A lot of damage going back and forth in the mid lane. Chryslok getting very low there. We're going to see how they look to salvage some of these lanes. I think Schofield already recognizing this bottom lane is going to be tough without the reactive armor. Is looking to pull these.
Look at what Puppy's doing. That is such a cool move.
Drags the wave with a Treant. So Schofield, it still moved the creep wave, but
It's the jungle lane.
yeah, the fourth lane. Have you heard the stories? And Puppy just trading right clicks with Schofield here. Has ice shots, but what a really clever stop for him. They are completely keeping Whisper away. He has hit level 2. It looks like he wants to grab the next wave, which he'll succeed in
grabbing
doing
the
so.
other way.
Yeah.
This is
I don't
clowning.
even want to look at any
Oh,
of these
okay,
other
he's
lanes.
taking it under tower. He's like, okay, you can have it. This is too inconvenient for me. I think he's going to wait till he gets his boots first. Oh, he's going Glove of Haste first. Okay. Ursa's a really weak laner nowadays.
Yep.
Ursa used to be such a lane dominator, so having a free farm lane like this on Ursa, you're perfectly content with this.
All that chaos going on there was a first blood up top.
Yeah, they used a vacuum because I leveled it level 2 instead of Surge.
Ooh.
It feels good to be this good.
And looking over at our mid lane, we have ourselves a Puck versus Void Spirit lane. So far, pretty even. Both now going to start going for some of those water runes. Puck, actually, no water rune for
It
you.
feels good to be this
Radiant's
good.
bottom
But
tower
he's going to
is
be
under
A-okay.
attack.
Nice job by Yapster to make sure that Nisha gets the bottle refill up top.
You'd think Whisper's busy laning instead of voice lining, but he's been dragging creeps about 80% of the time.
Yeah. Doesn't have to focus on the last hits quite as much when he's just running away. He gets a creep wave under the tower now. And good job by Tusk giving him this kind of solo XP. It's still a level 1 Tusk, but Timber's a hero that can really benefit from that solo experience. Back up top. They managed to chase down K1 Hector and get the kill on the Sven. So that's the carry going down.
This is a lane I said I thought they would win level 1 and 2 on Beastcoast. Like, if they were going to pull ahead and dominate this laning stage, they would be winning by now, and they've fed 2 kills already.
Yeah.
So that's very concerning to me, because Darkseer, the thing about it is, can you kill the Ion Shell before it kills you when it comes to farming, right? And if you can't, then you're forced out of lane, which means that the Darkseer will free farm. He'll eventually take your tower. He's going to set up easy dives because he's got heroes like Puck that can conveniently rotate, a support Nature's Prophet that can TP behind your tower and summon trees. I think these early deaths indicate a very early loss of the tier 1 tower when the Nature's Prophet sees the time to change. Like, maybe the 5-minute catapult might be the time.
And a mid-hero like a Puck is a hero that's more than happy to get active too, I feel. So we could see that Puck make those plays to make sure you secure towers or even get some extra kills along the way. Doesn't necessarily bode well for Beastcoast just yet. We'll see if they can find a way to salvage things. If the Timber does get off to a good start in terms of getting that solo XP and some early items, he's going to be the one that needs to defend those towers.
The seeds of fortune.
Dire's structures are
A lot of back and forth mid here. Nisha's getting a little body blocked here. Chris Lux, he's begging for that high 5.
Ooh!
And he thought he'd get past the tree.
Yeah. That look, I mean, it was one of those things that looks kind of bad, but it was probably just like a 0.1 second longer, and he would have jaunted over the tree. Nice solo kill from Chris Luck. He's a player that needs to step up if Beast Coast want to take a game or games off Team Secret.
They were already down by 1K at 3 minutes into the game prior to that solo kill, and we talked about the momentum that Secret's lineup has early to mid-game, as Stinger might be going down again.
Gets vacuumed back in. Nice stun from the Sven just to save his support, but
Okay.
doesn't feel great. And yeah, the Iron Shell just constantly getting them low here. They haven't got any salves. They're out of regen. This is bad news for them
Radiant's
in
courier.
this top lane.
That solo kill was pretty massive, is what I was getting at, because if they weren't winning mid, like I think if Chris Luck had died to Nisha, it'd be like GG.
Yeah.
Because they'd be losing all 3 lanes at that point. But now we're feeling okay. I'm just concerned if K1's gonna have the space to farm the stacks that Sven generally needs in order to hit that crucial timing. Usually he gets his first item, and then he gets very quickly to a second item. And Schofield has been stacking, at least this big camp. He has not stacked the Ancients yet.
Bounty.
See if Void Spirit makes his way over there. Void Spirit looking for another kill, misses on the disable. He's going to make his way back out there. Not sure he would have had the damage to kill Nisha. He did have the raindrops out, so Chris Luck using up one of those astral steps, and Nisha looking A-okay here. Level 5 to the level 6 of the Void Spirit. Has to be a little bit careful for now.
Matu
This
queued
feels
up the
good to be
Mask
this
of
good.
Madness after the treads. This is a throwback if he ends up going for it.
Yeah.
I think it's been a couple years since I saw a Mask of Madness version.
Oh.
Puck guys
Whoa.
again. Okay, it wasn't
Okay, that was
solo,
the Tusk.
but Tusk is not exactly a support you'd think that kills a Puck.
Here comes the move. We kind of talked about this potentially happen with the Nature's Prophet coming up top, and Yapster getting very low here. Does die to the creeps in the end here. Is the Iron Shield damage going to be enough to bring down Stinger, but not quite the outcome I think Team Secret were hoping for there. Schofield in the trees. Looking for Zai, who is going to go for a TP out. Can he get him with a snowball in time? No.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This has been a fantastic showing from Chris Luck so far, finding multiple kills and been a lot of pressure on Nisha's Puck, who has died twice now. Gets the rune as well, so the 50-50 exchange going his way. Tries the D ward, gets caught by a Dreamcaller. I don't know if they've got the damage here. I believe he should be okay. Yeah, Dreamcaller's going to be wearing off, and Chris Luck just gets himself out of there as Puppy comes teeping in just for the D ward.
Did force him to pop the Arcane Rune, so it's not completely useless. that they coiled him there. And they are going to threaten his tower. They brought him down to half, and now he has to be a little bit concerned, but really nice creep drag by Schofield to make it so the catapult will die. Really good awareness by him that his core just needs a little bit of help getting rid of that catapult. Huge amount of pressure represented by these catapults, but Beastcoast has thwarted them.
Even the top tier 1 tower is like almost full health still, and that's the tower.
Is under attack.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was saying that's the tower you were kind of saying like you expected to maybe drop early with that Nature's Prophet rotation.
Yeah, they managed to survive that dive where Yapsor went down behind the tower. And that's really important. When you have a hero like Sven against Ursa, very invasive carry, you need to protect your early towers. We saw what happened last game with T1 where the game was pretty even, and when they just lost their towers, eventually they got ran over, out-efficiency'd on the map. Oh, but Hector.
Yeah, he's just doing his thing, farming the jungle, but gets caught out with the Observer Ward and chased down. I believe that was the Shrine Ward scouting him out, and they use that to hunt him down as
It feels good to be
Chris
this
Luck
good.
getting poked at. We'll be fine.
Don't mind me.
This just feels so bad as Sven, where the opponent can walk into your jungle, and you don't know if they're ganking you or not. The thing about Darkseer and Earthshaker is they could just be farming a stack together with Ion Chill, and you just never know. And you don't want to like stop hitting creeps on Sven. You know, like maybe they're coming, but you kind of have to sometimes. And Hector, he's probably just going to retreat to triangle now, as he misses the stack. Stinger, man. Ugh.
Yeah, they got one.
That hurts.
Here's, yep. Pops the God Strength there. He'll use that to clear through all those waves here. Is up back at top. Puppy. Oh, he's found a courier. Says, forget Schofield. I want that courier, and I want to start poking at this tier 1 tower.
Is under attack.
Over at bottom, Whisper trying to pressure the tower himself, but just the Timbersaw doesn't push particularly fast. He just deals with the creep waves and doesn't get too low.
You can tell Schofield's scared for his towers. Look at his skill build. He's got a 2-2-0 skill build as opposed to the standard max tag team. His job is to clear waves as best he can, defend his towers, peel waves off. Very fascinating. I don't think I've ever seen this skill build since the rework of the tag team.
And
Going Veil. Interesting. Makes sense this game.
Dire's
Chris
top
Luck gets
tower
caught by a
is
vacuum, but there's no follow-up.
Radiant's
So much pressure. Whisper's trying bottom, but he's just a Timbersaw.
Yep. And it seems like for Beastcoast, they're just trying to delay it as much as possible. It will finally now go down, but keeping up for a decent amount of time, it still feels like. Uh-oh.
Dire's top
Chris
tower
Luck
is
gets
under
out of there okay. How's the Dream Call committed?
is under attack.
On Radiant side, you're happy to trade sides like this when you have an
Okay.
Ursa,
good
because
to be this
you're just
good.
going to take Roche the second Beast Coast puts 3 to 4 heroes bottom. And so Beast Coast is going to have to constantly be aware of that. I put that in the hands of Chris Luck, who's
Nisha, double damage Void Spirit. Can he get the solo kill here? Chris Luck gets him low. There's no more Astral Steps, though, and he's going to be a little bit careful.
a good space.
Has got the Dissimulate still to maybe try and use that one to escape. Doesn't go to the high ground, though. Stays on the low ground. Gets caught by a Fisher here. I think he was trying to catch him by surprise and juke into the trees, maybe. But Secret didn't fall for it.
I think that's Roche. Yep. Mask of Madness is why he seemingly built it. He's only level 7. Usually you need a couple more points in the overpower.
There's the Treant's Puppy, microing them one at a time so he doesn't trigger the clap. This is some big brain puppy stuff.
They scouted out. He has
they know.
Snowball.
Okay.
Wait to finish it.
Nice.
Oh, nice
Fissure
vision,
just, if he went in there, the Fissure was waiting for him.
Look
And
at that sprout. That was a perfect sprout.
Yep. This is become one of Puppy's best heroes as Schofield now in all sorts of trouble. There's a God Strength being popped somewhere. Chases on Schofield, does manage to get himself out of there. I believe they were pressuring this T1 mid tower, but Nisha shows up, and with the threat of the Dream Call, they've got to be a little bit careful here. Macho getting very low. He's got this Aegis, but he may just lose it if he's not careful here. Does end up going down. Great play from Whisper. Gets caught by the Fissure here. The follow-up from Nisha is there with the Dream Call. Catches out too. I don't think they've got the damage to kill this Timbersaw. This is decent for Beast Coast. A lot of spells being forced from the Team Secret side, and they are holding their own, breaking the Aegis right after it gets picked up.
This is a level 9 offlane Timber to the level 7 Ursa, who was picked in response to the Timber. It's meant to be a counter.
Yeah.
I wonder what's really happened to Matu's game. I guess he felt the need to group up with his team early because he got booted out of lane. And that's showing. He's level 7 to the level 10 of Hector. That does not feel good at all.
I mean, you highlight Schofield Bill. I feel like he's just played such a smart game with how he secured the Timbers lane and since then just kept towers alive. Puppy does a nice sprout to get out of the ice shards, but still goes down top.
I remember during their run for 8th place at TI9, I believe it was.
Yep.
Schofield was one of my favorite players to watch. The word I use for him is pesky. He's just so pesky. You know, you're a secret. You know your game plan. Let's put some early pressure on these tier 1s. What the hell? This Tusk is 3-2-0 on his skill build. You know, what?
And it's unorthodox. Like, usually there's standard plays. Okay, the enemy 4 position playing this hero usually will do plan A, and if that doesn't work, they go to plan B. He's just doing, like, you know, he's on plan X. He's doing all kinds of wonky stuff.
Yeah, he's on his own little universe. And it totally makes sense, though. That's the beauty of it. Whenever people innovate, and then you just see it come into fruition in the way they play the game out, it's really cool to watch. It shows such an understanding of their role in the game. And the part of the reason that Hector has become so famous for being the fast farmer that he is that the rest of his team has gone through rigorous training of how to take care of the map 4v5.
Yeah.
Schofield putting on a clinic for you here.
Matu gets the enrage up before the stun comes in, but the ice shards block is
Nice
there.
ice shards.
Schofield holding onto the Walrus Punch will hit Matu. Snowball follow-up as well, and Matu is going to go down. Great kill
It feels
for
good
Beastcoast.
to be this good.
Don't let him bait you, Matu. I have been baited by this Schofield man myself way too many times. And this is the first time I think I've ever seen a Tusk go first item Veil. I
Yeah.
believe I have never seen that. And it's quite cool because they kind of have damage issues defending lanes and overall just before the Sven gets items.
Schofield continuing to poke the bear that is Team Secret, but right now they're not quite looking like a bear with how Beastcoast is having their way. Schofield will finally go down, but Puppy dies mid. That was Whisper getting a solo kill. Had the Yule Scepter and I guess making a nice little play there as he's now on the run, being chased down a little bit. I don't think Matu can do this on his own. Just be a little bit careful.
I really like the first item Yules. Most Timbers just default to Hood.
Is under attack.
Against a lot of magic damage, they have Puck, Darkseer, Earthshaker. It's not like they're lacking. But against the Ursa, I highlighted the need of Yules in the draft. And against the Darkseer as well. And he's immediately queued it up, knowing it's more important to dodge the damage than it is to, like, soak it.
Nice body tramp blocks from Puppy. Just a silencer kill, though, but yeah, his whole build, he's anti-Ursa. He's got the Halberd queued up second. We'll see if he does ultimately end up buying it, but he's making his entire game about negating what Matu can do in his Ursa.
Yeah, the Sven-Ursa matchup, if they could, like, ignore each other, Sven would benefit from it. But if the two heroes are forced to interact, then Ursa wins the matchup. And Whisper's like, I'm not going to allow you to hit my Sven.
You'll set up into the pull, and they're going to bring down the puck with the help of the Global Silence. Snowball in, looking for more. They get the punch. They get the... Oh, no!
Oh my! I mean, we did say if there's a vacuum.
They were just about to get that like last right click to kill him, and the vacuum interrupted it. Holy cow! Ooh,
You can like feel that from the monitor, you know?
yeah. That's the heartbreaking one for Beastcoast. If you're a Secret, you're thinking, hell yeah, that went perfectly.
This just reminds me in your pubs where you're like the mid lane
let's
and you're
take another look.
struggling, you're dead,
Here it is.
and here's your team.
He looked so dead until that vacuum came in.
That's a highlight for the entire tournament right there. That is... Nisha says, I've now been killed by Chris Luck 3 times. Carry me. As Yapsor and Zai proceed to put the entire team on their back.
Yeah. The Team Secret team fight. Zai, he's 4-0-6, being in 10 of these 11 kills on a Darkseer. That's not a hero you necessarily expect that. And then you've got Yapsor in all 11 of these kills, 2, 2, and 9.
Something's got to blink.
Yeah.
I'm dead.
And that was indeed Beastcoast. They were dead. But
And it's the Team Secret line.
yeah. Oh. Observer Ward going to find Schofield, just going for a D ward there, but now he knows exactly what's going on. Secret pulling ahead, 3K gold lead.
What the hell? We were just talking up Beastcoast and how they seemed in control, and then suddenly one vacuum, and that's just not the case anymore.
Yeah.
They both have halberds. I don't know how I feel about the double halberd. If you're Timbersaw, I don't want to say he's like ruining his own game, but he's inconveniencing his own game in order to make your game easier. I don't know how I feel about also doing it yourself, because Sven doesn't mind Halberd. It's a strength item that he benefits from the damage, but you don't want to buy Halberd.
I'll beat solo kill by Whisper. It's a bit of a deja vu here. The Dream Call is there, looking to catch him on the retreat. He still may be able to get his way out of this one. Doesn't manage to Timber Chain to the high ground here. Whisper doesn't want to go through the wall until he's got the Timber Chain.
That's easy farm. You can Timber Chain through that infinitely for that 5 gold.
Still being chased a little bit here. He's just going to go into the enemy base and TP out.
Of course.
Love it.
It feels good to be this good.
And Schofield again, caught trying to D-ward, I think. The same ward twice. He's committed to the D-ward job.
I said he's pesky. He might also be insane, because he has tried the exact same thing multiple times, and it has not worked any of those times.
It's the space for K1. It's like a bit of those, like, oh, we can joke about, like, oh, you know, he shouldn't die twice in the same ward, but it's like, he finds out where they are, and K1 is free farming elsewhere on the map.
You know, if you're in a pub and I was the Tusk, and my teammates flamed me, my response would be to ping the Sven's items.
Yeah.
Like, my Sven has all these items, because I'm up here dying.
Yep. He's
That's
almost
the natural response here.
3k gold ahead of the Ursa almost. He's put himself and his team in a position to, you know, go into the late game and win this game. The BKB time is going to be important, because what happened last team fight, you say Sven, yeah, he needs a BKB.
Desperately.
Well, Schofield, third time's the charm. Coming back into that same area, does stay...
Run it back, baby. Let's go.
He's near that observer ward vision. Perhaps he knows exactly the range of it. Feels like he's just on the edge of it. Like, okay, there's a ward there. Let's just stay right at the edge.
Yeah, he's the ogre for his team. You know, he's just gank tank extraordinaire. Just confirming they are still there, guys.
Yeah.
Field report.
Meanwhile, ooh, what's happening here? Puppy got a bit of a... Oh, he blocked the Ancients. Okay. Smart from Puppy. Just TPs in, puts a sentry down to block that Ancients camp. Recognizing, you know, if this game slows down, even they'll de-ward it probably eventually, but even if it just stops it spawning once, it kind of pays for itself.
Yeah, more than pays for itself. That's... Ancient camps are what? 170, 80, 180 gold? So, not including the XP.
Yep.
And it's very convenient for Nature's Prophet. He didn't have to walk there. He got to take the express route. He has the axe. I thought he still had to work on it. Makes it root.
Yeah.
And it also lowers the cooldown.
That can be pretty pesky.
For heroes like Sven, absolutely. You don't want to have to pop BKB for that. He's never building a Manta. I guess Satanic later. They did add the Dispel to Satanic. He'll almost certainly be building that.
Yeah, K1's goes BKB coming out. We'll see if Beastcoast will make a play off this. They've already smoked. Sven likely going to look to sync up with them. They know this second Roshan is there with the Aghanim Shard.
That's huge for Ursa, because he does not want to spend 1,400 gold on that. But it's one
Yeah.
of the best shards in the game.
But Beastcoast, like, they're ready to fight now with this BKB timing. This is very smart of them as they jump in. They're going to find Puppy. Once again, he is not having a good time with this Nature's Prophet for the last couple of minutes here. And Beastcoast perhaps looking for more. Whisper could look to set things up with a Yule Scepter. Same for the Void Spirit. Can't get too close here. And Nisha's Puck has really been limited in what he can do this game. Can't really get near. If he gets caught by any kind of a Yule Scepter into the Aether Remnant, he just dies.
Yeah, that's why they picked the Void Spirit into it last.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the heroes mid die to Puck Coil, but Void Spirit with just one item is absolutely terrifying because you can't phase shift out of it.
And if you can't rely on the... If they do catch him, they'll just pop the Global to stop Shaker from, like, counterplaying it.
Yeah. That's why they pick Silencer and a Shaker.
Yeah.
Beast Coast, the thing about NA and SA is they kind of learn from each other in drafting. There's a lot of one-to-one counters where you're just like, yep, they've got something to deal with that. They've got something to deal with that individually. And it's very different than a lot of like the EU teams who do this old game plan situation.
You don't have to Global for the Shaker. If you catch the Shaker... You get him with the Yules here. Nisha does find a support kill on the backlines. Crystallusk is fishing. He's got the Yule Scepter. He just needs to catch Nisha, and Nisha knows that. Global Silence is there with the Snowball. They say, we've got the Remnant to follow up, and they'll burst him, blow him up. Nice buyback into the Global there, just to guarantee the kill.
Yeah, one of the most useful buyback supports because you have instant impact. You don't even have to be at the fight. And I think Nisha would have gotten away there, right? He would have been able to dodge the Snowball with phase shift into Orb, and he couldn't because of that.
Zai could be in some trouble here, but Chris Luck doesn't want to push his luck. Wants to secure this Roshan. They know they got the Ursa down kind of low. He's on half health, so can't easily come back in this fight. But with the Shaker respawning, Schofield's just standing there like he's AFK, securing this Roshan. I love it. The tactical feeds continue. And securing an Aegis and Shard for your team, hell yeah.
Dire's bottom tower is
And this is how, as a spectator, we hopefully can convince you guys that deaths do not tell us how well somebody played that game.
Ooh, that's not a death you were hoping for.
Now, that death, on the other hand, is more detrimental, I believe, than every death of Schofield combined.
Yeah.
As I don't think he was ever supposed to die there on
Yeah,
Spirit. Without Coil.
Stop looking.
Yeah, they're not. Without Coil, they didn't use Echo Slam. That's definitely just a overconfidence play.
Yeah.
It's not the end of the world because K1's still farming, but now it's allowing Secret to just invade like they are, which when you have the Aegis on Beastcoast and a Sven that's looking like this.
Big one in, though. The Sven comes in with a BKB.
The Sprout!
Oh, the defensive Sprout. But now they come out of it. The counterplay's there with a nice Fissure blocking up the Sven, going to force him back. He Timber Chain's out of there, though. So they can just cut their losses at a tusk. I imagine they'll be okay with this, but they really want to fight that one with the BKB.
That is a awful. Like, you'd think it's such a better. You'd have a better use of a BKB Aegis timing on a Sven,
Dire's top
and
tower
he's
is
going to
under
get kited.
attack.
The Sprout alone is going to be enough to be super annoying. He's already running out of slots. With the Aegis, he's already backpacking his Quelling Blade. And once he gets the Shard on Nature's Prophet, which he now has, because he went Treads, if he does Quelling Blade a tree, he's going to be stuck anyway because it spawns the treants on top of the tree that you cut down.
Dire's top
He's
tower
going to have to go Ags, I think, on Sven.
For the mobility.
Yeah, I think you have to do it.
Silencer. Caught a little bit up top. Nisha's there to follow it up. There's a force stuff, but no. Fissure's there to block him. Oh, okay.
That
Yep, sure. Drops the dunk to secure the kill. Can Beastcoast punish this? I mean, it's a big ultimate, but...
he has no buyback on Silence.
Yeah, and I think Secret know this. They want to force a fight. Great vacuum in a two-man fissure. Yapso blinks in, though. He's in a bit of trouble here. Gets taken out by the Chakram. They do get a support for it, but Secret probably not going to feel like this one's worth it as they lose Zai as well. Chase is on. Doesn't look like they'll get anything more just yet. Puppy's pretty far away unless they fish him out.
See that Timbersaw's level 20? What the hell? I guess he's
Getting
just
out
been a
of
part of
control.
crucial kills this game.
Yeah.
He's keeping up with a Sven who's been hitting creeps all game. Hector has 328 CS at 24 minutes into the game, and they're the exact same level. They are crazy out-leveling Secret right now.
Yeah. It feels like at this point, Secret, not to flame Matu, just don't have that real carry here for the mid to late game. They're going to be relying on this big team fight combo that has worked for them, but like Matu can't just kill anyone by himself.
You have a lot of heroes that need to be comboed, and they're all very beefy.
Feels good to be this
And I don't
good.
think you're going to see Beastcoast heavily committing to a hero like you saw mid lane. I think they learned their lesson. You know, you're confident for a bit, you're in the zone, and then you get Echo Slammed as 4, and you get it like, you know, you get the water splashed on your face, you wake up from the high that you were on, and I don't think they're going to give them that again. So I don't know how they have enough damage to like distribute amongst all the cores of Beastcoast for Secret.
They have got those kiting plays. You mentioned the Sprout. Puck's going to have an Aghanim Scepter soon, so that's going to limit what this Sven can do. Here you go, Void Spirit gets caught by the Fissure from the trees. Does get off the defensive Yule Scepter. The Global Silence is there, but Zai tries to get him with a Greaves Vacuum. And
That
he
would have
takes a-
worked.
Just couldn't get the perfect timing he was hoping for.
So the thing is that Sven can get out of Puck Coil with Ags. So he
Okay.
is going it.
Yeah,
Yeah. They like never go Ags anymore on Sven. It's kind of outdated after like Swift Link getting added into the game. Satanic just being a broken item for carries in general. Silver Edge also is an amazing option for Sven. But the fact that Sprout's such a massive issue and it's such a low cooldown ability, and then there's really no way for any carry ever to get out of Axe Coil on Puck, Sven one of the few that can Superman out of that Puck Coil.
Seeker going to resort to some pesky split pushing both mid and top. These guys have to address these lanes. They've got
Oh,
Chris
the
Luck in the
vacuum!
front lines. There's the vacuum.
That
Two-man
was
fissure.
sick.
Yapsor falls up with the dunk. Catches out two. K1's trying to turn this fight around, but his BKB is going to be wearing off fairly soon. Hasn't really done the damage on the backlines. Whisper, he's taken out the Shaker. Can he find more? This Timber is causing all sorts of problems as Puppy's TP gets cancelled and Whisper once more. Is there anything from Matu? No.
Yules was on
TP's out. Yules was on cooldown. So it ends up being a slightly secret favored fight. Yeah, okay, yeah, 12 gold. XP going, I mean, pretty much an even fight in the end.
You knew that down to the penny, gods. You were like, that was a secret favorite. Yep, 12 gold.
But then I saw the XP and I was like, what's more valuable, the XP or the gold?
Is it 12 gold or 60 experience? You know, we could take a poll on that one. But yeah, I don't know. Like Secret, they executed that fight pretty insanely high level. Like that was a coil vacuuming them out of the coil into an Echo Slam.
I think we can take a look at here
And it's still
again.
an even trade. It does, PBD, it does. That's like as good as it gets for Secret, I think. And the fight's going even, so that doesn't bode well.
Whisper's just on the backlines doing like, he's the one dishing out the most damage. K1's just getting kited, and he's kind of the focus of so much of this Secret lockdown and control, but...
You can't deal with this Timbersaw. You cannot afford to use your spells on this Timbersaw. He's got status resistance from the Halberd.
Yep.
He's got like 3,500 HP because he got that Bloodstone completed.
Yeah.
3,500 HP.
Oh, here come Team Secret again. They're not done. They want to keep fighting. K1 gets gone on. Dreamcoil's there. The global silence to keep him alive a little bit longer. He's going to turn with the Godstring, but he can't hold his ground against the Matu Ursa. Does get the Stormbolt out. Is jumping his Chris Luck. Have they got the damage with the Remnant pull? They're going to take out Matu. Darkseer dead as well as Whips is going to go chaining on forward. Yapster's in some trouble here. Needs to find a blink out. Coast win another fight, getting 3 kills for 1. Oh, there we go. Can hear it.
We're back.
We got Dota Suns back. Hopefully you guys had us as well.
Don't worry, you didn't miss anything important. I was talking about what I thought about the game. So, 7k advantage for Beast Coast. Pretty convincing so far. The Ags for Sven. The problem with this Ags on Puck is I think you're allowing K1 to buy an item that's like addressing everything. Like it just addresses
Ags, yeah.
everything you have, and you're committing more gold to this everything, which means that his everything or his item that he's buying is effectively negating your 4,200 gold and giving him what he probably needed anyways. So I think this is a bit of an oversight by Nisha. Maybe he doesn't know how that works. Maybe he thinks they need it anyways. Not 100% sure.
It feels like they just thought, like, if they, limit what Sven can do in these fights, don't let him carry the game, then things will be fine. But it's Whisper every single fight. This Sven has only, been in 8 of these 19 kills. He's not doing a lot of damage in these fights, but he's soaking up all these spells, all these disables, the sprouts, he's just putting his body on the line to allow Whisper to just have a free game. And Whisper, Bloodstone, 17 charges, about to have an Aghanim Scepter as well. His damage output is insane. He's getting close to that 25 to some extent as well.
If you saw a support's inventory of Tranquil's Veil Yules, how many guesses would you have to take to get it to be Tusk? If somebody said, what support is this? I think it would take me at least 50.
Yeah.
Because I do not think that is a build I have ever seen before on Tusk.
You'll still also just make this Ursus game that much more difficult. When we speak of it feels like both carries on both teams are just unable to dish out reliable damage in these fights, and it's the supporting cast where Beast Coast have had an edge.
I would much rather have a Timbersaw if my issue is damage.
Yeah.
Right? Compared to a Darkseer.
Dire
Because Darkseer enables his other heroes to do more damage. And in this case, usually you see it being the Iron Cell Surge making the carry do more, but it's more so just the vacuum for the coil as well as the Echo Slam, which is a flat amount of damage.
Yeah.
Compared to the right click of carries as you scale later into the game. As Timbersaw has 3,600 HP, I don't think that coil break combo is going to be enough to actually kill him.
Timber deforesting the top side of the map here. Finds Zai, still has the Yule Scepter.
That's the Yules.
And Zai, he can't really TP out. There's just too much damage. Man, he just gets annihilated. 18 charges now, and about to hit level 25. He was like at level, when I said he's almost 25, it didn't feel like I was being that serious, but getting that solo kill there, he's actually about to hit 25.
Yeah, he's going to take the Whirling, the Timber Chain range, for sure. I don't think the Whirling Death Attribute Reduction does anything. Yeah, they don't have to have one Strength hero, so... This was a third pick Timbersaw, which was addressed by 2 heroes in the second round by Secret. And it is proving masterful performance by Whisper.
Schofield dies again, but that's been his job for a lot of this game, as Nisha may pay the price to just get a support kill. This has been one of the best 1-9 Tusks I think I've ever seen.
I think K1 is getting carried this game.
Middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, but at the same time, I don't feel like he's playing bad in any way. It's just the way the draft went, maybe.
Have you ever played one of those pubs as a carry where you feel like you're doing your job, but you never really had to do anything to win the game? You're like, I'm not like feeding or anything. I'm farming. That's what I was supposed to do.
Yeah.
But your team is just like winning the fights for you. They're like, obviously K1's playing fine. I'm just saying that the performance from the other 4 has been pretty insane this game. This is what I think Beastcoast, old infamous, has to look like if they're gonna make a deep run at TI, because this is exactly what they look like when they got 8th.
Yep.
And that was when they only could play Wraith King. So the team's come a really long way.
They've added a few heroes.
Yeah, they're a little bit more diverse than Hector or Wraith King nowadays.
Yep.
So this is really cool to watch, especially since they had a little bit of underwhelming performances during the lands this season.
Perhaps a bit of a reminder that Timber's a hero you just have to be worried about, because that hasn't really popped up all too much in the drafts I've seen. As we're going to see Ursa try and jump on in to defend this top tier 3 tower, but Matu already gets chunked down to half health. The Dream Call is there. Sven just going to break it as he runs back. And Whisper on this front lines, he's just unkillable.
Yeah, just go
4,000
on
health.
this guy.
He backpacks the cheese. He's like, I don't need this cheese. I need the clarity. It's fine. They can't kill me.
Okay, he'll take the cheese over a soul ring at least.
Yeah. I like how he popped the clarity and he literally just got a second before the puck clicked him once. He's like, all right, don't need it anymore.
Hey man, if he barely has any mana to cast something to finish somebody off, we'll
Yep.
remember that 2 seconds of clarity. Sometimes that's all. You only need 2 seconds of clarity to know what to do in the game, you know?
Yep.
That blast rig, by the way, is OP here. I feel like the only way he's going to die is to get hit by Ursa 8 times in a row.
Yep.
In a matter of 2 seconds.
It feels good to be this
And that's exactly what this item prevents.
No situation.
I always thought that neutral item was particularly brutal for certain heroes to deal with, and Ursa would have to enrage to remove it, which I feel like there's a lot of other things you're worried about enraging it for.
Matu going to have to just play that sacrificial frontline role, try and set up that big team fight for the Darkseer Earthshaker. That's the last hope for Team Secret, but he's dying in the process. Gets healed up by the Greaves. There's the vacuum. The follow-up isn't there. The silence. They get Yapsor before he can blink. He gets picked off. No buyback. And Beastcoast have found the opening they were looking for.
Superman!
As they just go diving in. They're looking for more. They get the remnant pull onto the puck. That's 4 dead. It's about to be 5. It's about to be GG, I gotta imagine. Secret getting bested by the top South American team. They won Season 1, got second in Season 2, and Beast Coast, they're not here to mess around. They're looking like they've just secured Game 1 against Team Secret.
This is my first pleasant surprise of day 1. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not shocked. I think Beast Coast is a solid team, but so far it's been a lot of 2-0s in favor of the team that you would think would win if you had to choose one. And Beast Coast put on a clinic.
Yep.
I think the only thing they're missing is a cape for Sven, like for proper roleplay. I think they've got everything else needed to have a clean performance. They're just chaotic, even when they're winning. You know, like what other team do you see winning and you see a Tusk randomly feeding under the same ward 3 or 4 times? Because it's not random,
No.
but it looks like it is.
It's a little similar to what we saw, like, Ice on his Lycan dying in the top lane last game, where it's like, okay, he gets picked off alone, and it kind of looks like he's, you know, quote-unquote feeding, but there is a bigger picture that Beast Coast is seeing.
Bread and circuses, bread and circuses. All smoke and mirrors.
Secret, it's TI, of course. You don't GG out. A 30k gold lead Mega Creeps, they're going to play it out. We've seen, I think it was last TI where there was like 5 Mega Creeps comebacks, and before that there'd only been like 1 or 2 in all the TIs combined.
I don't think Ursa was in any of those.
Probably not.
Doesn't seem like the type
No.
of hero.
But here we go. Vacuum, where's the follow-up? They need it, and it's just not going to be coming in time. They're getting the Void Spirit low, but even he's going to find his way out of this one as there's the Global Silence. The Walrus Punch to follow it up, and this is looking all over as Matu does manage to bring down 1 or 2 with him. The Void Spirit did end up going down here, but what's the answer for this Timbersaw? 27 Bloodstone charges. Whisper has a Hex now. He solo kills Matu in the fountain. He is just out of control.
He's the highest level in the game.
They have killed 3, though. It is 2 Beast Coast heroes versus 3 here, but it's the 2 you'd want to see. As yes, The
I
Whisper
don't think
Timber.
Whisper can die.
Yeah, he's in the fountain.
Radiant's middle tower
He's
is under
not
attack.
really dying. Maybe if he stays in the fountain.
Give him like 7 more seconds in
Yeah.
the fountain. I think he'll go down.
Jeez. Rampage. It does feel good to see someone this good, Whisper, as he forces the GG and Beastcoast get themselves a 1-0 lead. Man, oh man.
The inner
That was fun.
monologue of K1 during the end of that game was, "I'm helping," as he's hitting the throne.
Yeah. That last fight, he did more than the
Nah,
previous fights. I know.
I'm just giving
I-
him crap, right?
Yes.
That was a pleasure to watch. Beastcoast, one of the funnest teams in Dota when they are in stride.
That was, I mean, it's the Whisper show for sure. There's no doubt in anyone's mind who the MVP of that game is. You know, I think maybe an honorable mention to Schofield on his Tusk for some of the stuff he was doing, but Whisper, 20-1 on Timber, like, it was just nuts.
This is a game they could have easily lost at like the 15-minute mark because Darkseer Ursa just runs at you with the first Aegis. And
Yeah.
I think I'd also give props to Chris Luck because he solo killed Nisha and then killed him again with a gank and then solo killed him again. And I
Yeah.
think if that bit of pressure had not been relieved, K1 might not have had as much space. Whisper may have had the need to help the team a bit more, so he wouldn't have been able to play his own game. Just a lot of little things I think that went in favor of Beastcoast, and I don't think it's like a coincidence. You know, you say like a lot of these stars had to align for the game to work the way it did, but that's exactly how Infamous was winning to be top 8. So this is a nice game to watch because it means a lot for me for Beastcoast moving
Yeah.
forward.
For Secret, do you think there's an element where it's like, let's go back to the drawing board, figure out something different for the draft? Like, do you think, how much do you say this is strategy or draft versus play?
I think Ursa just makes your lineup a bit all in.
Yeah.
I think you're on a timer. You're never going to be content with nothing happening in the game, and maybe against a team like Beast Coast, you don't want that status quo. So maybe they'll consider mixing that up a little bit.
All right. Well, we'll see if there's any kind of mix-up or how things will go. If Secret bounce back to being a lot of 2-0s, I'm sure Beast Coast would love to continue that. While Secret try and continue their winning ways from earlier today. We'll be right back after a quick break with game number 2. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Gods, he's BSJ, and we've got Team Secret versus Beastcoast Game 2. Beastcoast shocking us a little bit.
Yeah, pleasant surprise. It was good Dota. I don't feel like Secret played poorly, really. I think that Echo Slam kept them in the game. The 4-man vacuum into 4-man Echo. I feel like the game would have just ended maybe 10 minutes earlier if it weren't for that. So even a few things going against Beastcoast, and they still took it.
Yeah. And it's kind of almost fitting because in some ways the South American teams, they're always these wildcard teams, but for Team Secret particularly, like they've had a history of sometimes being upset and being caught by surprise. Like going back to like Kiev Major like 3 or 4 years ago, they lost in the first round of the playoffs and got eliminated by a South American team. So Beast Coast kind of continuing that a little bit here. Just group stage, still early days.
I want to look this up, but I'm almost
5
certain
seconds
that
remaining.
Secret was the team that eliminated Infamous at TI9.
Okay, so forget everything I just said. Secret doesn't. No, I don't know.
For whatever
There's
reason,
signs.
I thought about it
Yeah.
when you
I think you
said
might
that
be
they were
right.
cut off Bulgar, because I remember they gave them Wraith King
And they
in
had like
every
a
other
plan.
series.
Okay.
And then Secret was like, no,
Okay.
not giving them Wraith King.
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I'm just confirming with the bracket because this is something that is incredibly relevant that I promise I'm not trying to be lazy, guys. I just only thought about it because he mentioned that they wouldn't get they would get. Yeah, they were 2-0'd Infamous.
2-0, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And that was after they had beaten Newbie as well. They were making a run through the lower bracket on the side of Infamous, so they were the
Secret
ones that on the
cut it short.
yeah, they were like, no, your Cinderella story
Yeah.
ends with us. But Mars getting a first round ban. Now I respect that players having their signature heroes, but I don't think Mars is necessarily broken or anything, and I also don't think Whisper is like a one-dimensional player.
Yeah.
I view him as a very versatile offlane player. So
For
weird
sure.
ban.
And Shadow Demon first
10
pick?
seconds
That's something.
remaining.
Totally
I've-
normal, yeah.
Totally no.
5 seconds.
Yeah, I
remaining.
actually have no idea what they're going for here. Are they trying to set up like a Luna or a TB or something? Like,
Maybe there's something. Yeah, they wonder if they're saying they feel like Team Secret's gonna pick based on what's left in the pool, and then Shadow Demon's good against it.
I have to imagine Weaver's of a strong consideration. It's been getting banned a lot, but they are going to ignore it, perhaps? Weird that they're picking Earthshaker when there's already a save in the equation. I think maybe Beast Coast predicted that whatever they pick, Team Secret will still snatch up that Shaker.
No.
So preemptively countering
10 seconds
their signature
remaining.
strat, perhaps? Let me see. Let me look at my drafts real
5
quick because I
seconds
have Secret's
remaining.
drafts. They've only played 3 games, so there's just so much data to go off of.
Yeah.
But they had no Earthshakers up until that game, last game.
Ooh. So there's the deviation. Venge comes out second.
Makes it difficult to save somebody if they are swapped when
Yep.
they get stunned. So that's probably the idea behind it. And I'm curious if Beast Coast will go ahead and snatch up that Illusion Hero.
10 seconds.
Even
remaining.
though Earthshaker on paper is like good against Illusion Heroes, I do think TB is still
5
decent because you
seconds
buy like
remaining.
SNY, BKB, and you aren't necessarily clumped up around your illusions, and then you can reflect the Venge.
Venge, yeah. Get
Right,
that
so
aura.
they might even go for an early pick TB here, but maybe the hero's just not powerful enough. Maybe that's
Yeah.
the reasoning.
I feel like we're seeing pretty little. There's been 1 or 2 TBs, but not what it quite used to be. Venge does feel like it's like that. To me, this is them saying, okay, the Nature's Prophet didn't quite work. What's another kind of flexible opening 2 pick? Because we've seen the Venge play as a support. It can play in that core role with the Ags build. And to me, this is just a slight kind of tweak in the drafts from Puppy to try and fix things here for game number 2.
Yeah, we thought they might have to go back to the drawing board, and this is certainly a hot take, or a different take, I guess you could say, on what their game plan. Last game was very skirmishy based, I guess you could say. Low cooldown, and Venge is more about like long drawn out team fights, damage, minus armor. So we could be seeing like SFs or Swardars or something like that.
Team Secret's
And they
turn to
instantly pick
ban.
the Storm, which to me is okay against Venge because if she swaps somebody and they barely get out, the Storm can probably go finish them off. But you're also dealing with Shaker, who's a hero who can stun you from long range, setting up for other stuns, such as the Venge, that would normally
10
struggle
seconds remaining.
to connect against the Storm. But definitely a
5
Chris Lux
seconds
special. He
remaining.
needs a hero that can kind of just go deep.
Beastcoast's turn to ban.
Like we saw the Void Spirit there. It's crazy how Beast Coast, out of all the teams, they just randomly die on the map. You know, remember when Chris Luck was at the tier 2 top with 4 people collapsing on him?
Yeah.
And you just wonder how he got there. And then you look and see that the rest of Beast Coast is farming 3 lanes, so
10 seconds
makes sense.
remaining.
There's a method to what
Whatever
they're
it
doing.
is,
Yeah,
yes.
when you scratch your
5
head and you look around like,
seconds
okay, it kind of makes sense. I think with this Storm pick, it's also like, to me, when you talked a bit last game about, okay, what to do when you have that second pick, how you get the last pick of the second phase and the third, the final phase. That's the one pick where first pick has the edge, is that fourth pick of the draft, so to speak, where they pick Storm, because they pick it, then they get the bans. It does feel like a position where you want to pick a core hero that can have a high impact on the game.
Yeah, it's also covered a bit by the Shadow Demon. You don't
5
want to
seconds
pick heroes like
remaining.
Lina usually because they struggle against the lack of mobility that they have in their kit from the Demonic Purge. Like they can't build
Beastcoast's
Yules
turn to
anymore,
ban.
anything like that. Death Prophet. These heroes that generally lane dominate against Storm that I'm thinking of. Quap, pretty much the only one left that doesn't mind getting purged because of her innate blink.
Quap band.
Yeah, I'm saying like they're.
Oh,
they,
yeah.
I
Oh,
think
sorry,
they're.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
they're covering their bases really
I
well
see.
with the bans plus the 2 picks they have. Teams
10
usually have
seconds
very
remaining.
refined 1-2s. Like if they pick Shadow Demon, they have like
5
probably
seconds
across
remaining.
all their scrims maybe 3 or 4 heroes they've ever picked in this second roll,
Secret's turn to
and
ban.
that surprisingly Anti-Mage, Shadow Demon's kind of decent against him. You can disrupt him and get his mana burn. But Storm, very annoying to play, obviously.
So, and Team Secret banging out that silencer. I think with
10
with the
seconds
shaker that and
remaining.
how last game went, that is a good idea.
It just makes it so difficult to
5
play.
seconds
All the
remaining.
items
Oh,
Earthshaker
yeah.
wants to buy, none of them allow him to execute his combo against Silencer. You don't want to buy like BKB or Lotus or anything like that. You don't mind buying Yules, but you're not getting global, then Yulesing yourself, and then and then Echo slamming somebody. That's not how it goes.
Yeah, you need that instant response. So, we'll see what that last ban's going to be, and then we'll head into
Team
Team
Secret's
Secret's
turn
pick
to
here.
pick.
So they banned the Sven. Maybe feeling like, okay, Wraith King was last. Yeah, Sven is this TI for K1.
I think Wraith King is not as bad as he seems. They gave him a little bit of a buff, and his build with the Soul Ring, I've seen a lot of people go the Soul Ring build. It's pretty scary. They go for Lesh. Another hero that used to get owned by SD because he built Yules and you just can't Yules yourself, but a lot of Leshes are kind of going, just skipping that and going like Mana Boots, Eternal Shroud, Bloodstone, just items that you're going to tank and stand in place. But man, this
10
is the
seconds
prime
remaining.
Terrorblade game. If you're ever going to pick Terrorblade game, Beast Coast,
5
this is it.
seconds
We saw it
remaining.
earlier from LGD against Quincy Crew, who had the Venge Lesh.
Beastcoast's turn to pick.
So here it is, baby.
Oh.
Let's go, Terrorblade.
It's the prime Nyx Assassin game, I'll tell you that as well.
Yeah, pretty good against the Lesh. I guess Venge, you can easily carapace her spells, and
Yep.
probably Shakers as well. They don't have any summons heroes. Those are
10
usually the
seconds
biggest issues for
remaining.
Nyx.
Yes.
Heroes that can kind of just throw stuff at you, and you have to defend yourself, but you don't feel
5
good about it.
seconds remaining.
So maybe they'll go for that, like put Venge 5, go for like Lycan.
Yeah.
Lycan right now looks scary to Shadow Demon Nyx supports.
One of the heroes I saw some people predicting to be like a most picked or most banned hero was Beastmaster, but that hero is nowhere to be seen.
It's too fragile in the laning phase, I think. I think the hero, if it gets off the ground, is really strong, but you have to have a specific situation for it to get off the ground. So if that's the case, it means the hero will never usually be early rounded.
It seems like the Lycan is just better and preferred by most teams. Like
It's
as far as it's
easier, I
the
think.
Helm builder, you've got the utility of the Ags build later on too. If you get the nice synergy, we've seen a lot with the Tiny.
You don't have to be with your creeps, I think, is the biggest thing. On Beastmaster,
Oh,
you have
yeah.
to be in the radius of them with your aura, and on Lycan, you can just have a dragon that hits for 230 damage, and you don't have to be anywhere near it.
Team Secret's turn to pick.
And they go Gyro, which I like a lot less than Terrorblade. As of now, I'm gearing him up to get swapped in and die. That's what I'm looking at for Gyro. It's very hard for him to tank these spells. Usually Gyro wants a sustain support, like Wyvern, because you still have your Ag Side Gunner going off.
10
Io,
seconds
anything
remaining.
like that, Oracle, but not the case. I'm just concerned of his ability to actually stand his ground. Okay, what are these rolls?
Core Venge, I believe, I'm guessing.
It could also be Core Shaker
Yeah.
with like 4 Shaman, 5 Venge. But I'm imagining it's 5 Shadow Shaman, 3 Venge, 4 Shaker. That's what would come to mind.
10 seconds.
There's a lot of lockdown and control from this Team Secret side. Shaker, Shaman, that's like 2 of the most
5
lockdown-heavy
seconds
supports.
remaining.
No saves. I mean, they have Shadow Demon and
Team
Disruption,
Secrets turn
but
to ban.
they're gonna cast one spell on you. You're gonna get disrupted, and then it's either gonna be Fissure or Split Earth, or even just Shaman just insta hexing you
Yeah.
after you come out. It's not gonna exactly feel like you got saved. You kind of just got your fate delayed.
It's like one of those games where like
10 seconds
something like a
remaining.
Legion commander with an Ag shard or something could be really nice to save your
5
cores.
seconds
They might have to
remaining.
all in that offlane save, like Legion, Abaddon, Omni Knight.
Yeah.
I've heard crazier things. It's not ideal though against Venge. Venge is so good as a combo breaker against saves, because the guy's just in your base now,
Beastcoast
rather
turn to
than
ban.
on top of you.
Team Secrets turn
Morphling
to ban.
banned against Gyro makes sense.
That was the niche hero everyone was petrified of. If you go back a year or two as well, I think he won like some crazy number of games on Morphling in a row.
Yeah,
He had
that
like
was back when he had the attribute shift where when you were stunned. I remember Secret was just first round
10
picking it
seconds
every
remaining.
tournament. Free wins all around.
5 seconds remaining.
So we'll see what Secret to worry about here. Definitely some questions about where their lanes are going, which is a good thing when you have that last pick of the draft, having that kind of flexibility. Probably a Matu hero picked up last, but we've even seen safe lane Lesh. Theoretically, safe lane Venge is not completely out of the question. Yeah, okay, it's out. Sounds like out of the question.
Yeah, the thing about Venge in this meta is her job is to
turn
kind of
to
die. I think that's what makes
Yeah.
her good. And as a carry, as an offlane, if you're an Ags and you're still getting XP because your Ags illusion grants you XP, that's fine. But as an offlaner, that does not feel good. Or as a carry, I mean, that doesn't feel good.
I think the any scenario where you do that is like you've got the morph mid or something that will carry the game. But
Okay.
yeah, does it's a hero I've seen Zai playing pubs on the offlane Venge. So seeing him and Yapsro playing that
10
Venge Shaker
seconds
lane would make
remaining.
sense.
Yeah, I'm down for some Echo Saber Juggernaut here. Oh, Medusa.
You may
Against
now
Nyx?
select your heroes.
Against Nyx Shadow Demon? I feel like those supports are really good against Medusa. It goes incredibly well with Venge. Medusa loves Venge on her team.
Yeah.
The AoE minus armor, the AoE or the bonus damage on all of her split shots. It gives them the hero to rally around. There's so much counter initiation coming out from Secret. And it's just a matter of how well do these stunning heroes lock down the Nyx. Because if Nyx is removed from the equation, it looks like a really good Leshrac Medusa game. But with Nyx getting mana burns off, if he ever gets items, I think Beastcoast will be smooth sailing from there.
Is forward position, so not going to be completely starved, but it's still a Nyx, a hero that just, regardless of position, is going to struggle to find a lot of farm.
I've got an easy prediction for this game.
Yeah?
If Beast Coast gets a Philosopher's Stone, they're going to win the game. That's my prediction. I think Nyx needs like Ags
Yeah,
plus
yeah.
1 item to actually do the job that he needs to do in this game. Ags Ether Lens kind of thing.
Maybe even want to get your Shadow Demon in Ags, though.
True. Very true. The break does break Split Shot, even though it's a toggleable spell.
If they get Philosopher's Stone and steal Team Secret's Philosopher's Stone, they definitely win.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, you know, I will bet something of my life on that one. You know, like I'll my right arm. You know, if they get 2 Philosopher's Stones on Beast Coast. Now, just don't actually drop your Philosopher's Stone, please, Team Secret, because if there was the small chance that you still win, that would not be pleasant.
That's probably going to be one of the worst
It
neutral
feels
apps you could.
good to be this good.
to
drop or
accidentally
lose,
give to the
yeah.
enemy team. I
It
think
feels good to be
for
this
Whisper, Sand King's a really
Prepare
farm-heavy
for
offlaner
battle.
that would prefer to not have to always be fighting. Obviously, he's great at just being a blink stunner for your team. And they don't have the best way of punishing that. Earthshaker Venge. Earthshaker needs to get blink. Venge needs to farm the Ags. So that window where Sand King may feel pressured to have to go do things may not exist this game. So we may be looking at 3 very farmed heroes for Beast Coast, similar to last game where Whisper's sitting on a lot of net worth, similar to Timbersaw.
Smoke in. Yaps are in position with the boots to get away, and well, they'll get a D ward out of it and probably have to deny their own ward here, but a decent outcome overall. What kind of a neutral outcome? Maybe you play the mind game and don't deny it, because Secret's going to be like, okay, they denied it, so we're not going to
30
sentry it.
seconds
So
to
you just
battle.
leave it there.
Yeah, early warding makes me tired whenever I think about it. These
Tired.
supports just do such finesse little things with their wards, where I'm like, man, that must have been like 1,000 games of just randomly placing wards and experiencing what people do, and there's just so many slight
The battle
possibilities on such a
begins.
seemingly
A
simple
great
part of the game
service.
nowadays. You know, back in the day, I feel like I could just drop a observer ward in lane or something. You know, call it good. That doesn't fly anymore.
Yeah. And those early game D wards, it's a lot of gold. I was thinking I was talking to
XP
Jenkins
too.
about it. Yeah. I feel like Observer would give too much gold. It's kind of crazy how value sentries are. Like, even if you only get, like, an Observer with every 3 sentries, they still pay for themselves.
I am down for observers to give 0 XP and gold for the first like 5 minutes. I'm down.
Okay.
I'm down for them to do that because I think it should still be rewarding to deward, but it can actually decide lanes. As Puppy just gives them an ether shock to the face.
Wow.
Did he have a fairy fire? No, he didn't have like any way to survive that. He
Got
just
Demolished. Double Ether Shock and some right click. I mean, Shaman, 74 base damage. You don't mess around with that.
yeah. Ether shock is 140 damage too. It's one of the highest damage spells in the game, level 1. 140 to the face. Something about like what he was doing there on Nyx, he just looked really confident. Like he's the aggressor.
Yeah.
You know?
I only caught the second half of. What's he? Oh, he's got his buddy. I saw 2 sticks. And I was like, what's going on here? I just bring his buddies. But yeah, definitely catching the second half of it. I was like, okay, this looks. I don't know how he got in this position, but it's not a good position to be in.
Yeah, I think at that point, if you try to run, you're gonna die anyway. So you kind of just commit, and it looks epic. You know, you're just dying as a man.
Yeah, run. You get forced to use all your regen and don't trade at all. But I can see, you know.
Well, I'm
he
saying
forced-
like what looks better, you know, what he did or like walking away and
Stop.
dying.
I mean,
They both look pretty bad.
walking
alright?
away and living, maybe?
It's
Was
like
that an
going-
option? Was that ever an option?
I'm saying at some point in that engagement, he realized that the only way back was in a body bag. So he took that route, and he committed, and I respect that commitment.
A free TP scroll. Right?
True.
Those things cost 100 gold.
He did end up using it immediately after, but the thought is there about the free TV scroll.
Yeah.
Oh, he might be
Stinger.
going down here. They're
Yeah.
level 2
He's
bench.
blocked. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Who's going down? Both are going down.
That's a Yapsor play right there. Yapsor 100% called that play. Hey man, we're gonna be able to kill the Shadow Demon. Maybe before you die.
Solo XP and gets the gold. Taking a look at the mid lane. Nisha not going to land the Split Earth. Could be not really in any trouble, but not winning the trade war so far. Chris Luck not going to be able to get to this water rune in time. That would have really hurt Nisha's lane, but Storm vs. Lesh, so far Storm with a pretty decent CS advantage.
He's owning.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not. I'm pretty sure this matchup's about 50-50. I have to consult Eternal Envy on that one.
It feels good to be this good. It feels good to be this
Or
good.
PPD.
2 mid lane specialists
Yes.
from and a mid lane specialist too. And
That means that, like, cream of the crop, yeah.
yeah. Well, Stinger coming on in, trying to see what's going on. Nice timing for him to come up here to stop the stacks from happening, but he may pay for this with his life. Tries to go for the bounty. Oh, he canceled his attack there. Was going for the deny, but didn't get it.
He
But
then tried to deny with his illusions, so
yeah.
he tried really hard, but at least he didn't have to pay the price of any
Yep.
retribution.
He stopped the stacks from happening, which in itself feels, I think, pretty good.
He's mainly got nothing better to do, I think, right?
He's getting in, blocking the small camp, and just being an absolute pest. Schofield's blocking camps. They're blocking camps all over the place. As Nisha's looking for the Split Earth, not going to find it as he cancels the animation. Constant
Dire's
harass
turret has
war in
been
this minute.
killed.
22 to 12. That is a big deficit. As K1 goes down in the bottom lane. Oh, playing too aggressive there.
Venge is a scary hero. A lot of damage from both heroes with the Magic Missile doing 180 and the minus armor of Wave of Terror. Interestingly enough, Zai might be leveling his passive soon.
Mid lane? No, they're just going to secure around. I was like, both supports rotating in. They're going to get the double water rune, I believe. They're at least going to stop Nisha refilling his bottle.
I'm going to keep an eye out on this. I think Zai is purposely not leveling his passive so the lane doesn't push.
Okay.
He wants it near his tower.
Yeah.
Cool. 'Cause usually people go 2-2-0. He didn't take stats, did he? Okay, that would have looked really bad. And now he just takes the point and wave. You're making me look bad, Zai. I took time out of my day to recognize that.
Yeah, I'm sure thinks about another stun, but doesn't go for it.
Whisper's doing great top for a Sand King. Sand King struggles early levels usually. And even though Medusa's still winning by a few CS, they don't, like, Sand King's similar to Axe. He starts cutting creep waves, and they don't really stop him as compared to what we saw earlier. So he should have a pretty feels good start. He's already gone for the Soul Ring, which allows him endless sandstorms. Queuing up the Tranquils.
Chris Luck just hit level 6. And he's going to use that to ball lightning over the fissure. Get out of there, okay.
CS, Jesus. Whew. I have to imagine there's some small camps in there.
It feels good to be this.
Yeah, probably. But either way, that is a big farm advantage going his way.
Secret has an insanely greedy draft. Like Venge, farming off laner. Medusa, very farming safe laner. And Lesh, I would say his early momentum is based off of either him crushing the lane or his other heroes being like really strong so he can just like follow them. And so I'm imagining there's going to be a lot of do nothing from Secret. And Storm Sand King, also greedy cores that are usually hindered by their need to participate in the game. And I don't think they're going to have that. So I'm really leaning towards Beastcoast going into the mid game.
Yeah, they're just playing the lanes really well so far. The Gyro did die that one time, but he still managed to continue his farm. They've got 3 of the top 4 net worth heroes. They are looking for that 6-minute rune now. Puppey even rotating towards mid to try and secure it. Arcane rune secured for Nisha. Nicely done. They get the Hex on Chris Luck, followed up by the Shackles. The Split Earth going to be there as well, and Chris Luck gets punished for trying to steal the rune. Well played by Secret to bring numbers.
If you showed me that clip and you asked me to guess which mid lane player at TI did that, I would have probably guessed Chris Luck. He sees 3 heroes at the rune, and he's like, I don't think he's going to be ready for me to do this.
I was trying to think who else I would pick to do something like that. I'm like,
Chris Luck is consistently inconsistent about his plays, guys. Trust me, it's quite a marvel to see, and it works. He's at TI multiple years in a row, so I'm not going to question it.
Yeah, it's the crazy aggression and the wildness to it that sometimes succeeds. Similar to, I mean, it's like him and Schofield just have similar playstyles in different roles.
I think these guys are just meant for each other this entire game.
Yeah. And you can see, yeah, they've stuck together since that run, several years ago, and it's continued to work for them. Yeah, they didn't do that well the last major, but they've been a dominant force, at least in the South American DPC League. Getting first place and then second place.
Yeah, you know, and Dota teams are just like a relationship, you know, and I'm sure these guys think these other guys, they get me.
Yeah.
They understand.
And I'm sure there were times, you know, you have those low points where they thought about, you know, do we need to make a roster change? But they stuck it out.
Yeah, I think they thought about making a roster change, and then they went into a pub, and Chris Luck dove tier 3s, and nobody joined him, and he's like, man, I miss my teammates right now. And then they never thought about it again.
Yeah.
That was it. Yep. So it seems like the Gyro stats build is the way. Pretty much everyone's doing it. Ever since they nerfed Flat Cannon back to the mana cost, or not back to, but increasing the mana cost at higher levels, it just doesn't seem like there's an alternative unless you have IO. You just don't have enough mana to work with. And the alternative could be like buying Falcon Blade and a bunch of Clarities, but that's inconvenient. Yeah. So let's just not do that.
Epicenter? No.
Okay.
Well, that puppy wasn't quite in range for the level 1 Bar Strike.
Another wonderful change that's happened this year for Sand King. One of the best quality of life changes is that Epicenter is a channel rather than or a cast point rather than a channel, so you can cancel it.
Shadow Demon goes down, but that does reveal there was a ward there. He got kind of stunned from the low ground fissure of Yapso, but definitely worth it because he uses that to invade the jungle and kill bottom and take some stacks there as Chris Luck rotates bottom himself. Kills
that
off
was
Zai.
a really cool TP by Chris Luck.
Can he get out of this one? Follow up Totem. It's going to be close, but Chris Luck survives his way through it with help from a raindrop.
Oh, bottle refill too. That's clutch. He needed that. He would have been screwed on the map because he TP'd bottom to get that kill on Zai.
And can they turn this one around here? K1 going to go walking on in. He has the homing missile. I believe they should be able to at least get Yapster. He's got the Tranquil Boot, so he's pretty speedy. Nisha looking to turn. They start with the Split Earth. The follow-up is going to be there from Chris Luck. He comes diving in. Scopefield from the low ground. Doesn't land the Impale, and the Fissure will help finish off the Gyro. Nisha just doing too much damage with the help of Yapster here. They've killed off 2. That was a 2v4.
That's Leshrac early game. He's got enough damage for everybody as long as he's protected, and Earthshaker quite the good babysitter at this stage. They're just scared to commit. Yeah, the Nyx can mana burn you, but it's just an annoyance as long as you still have enough to cast your spells.
Even if that Impale lands, like, I mean, it was a hard one to hit. I don't think that changes anything. 1,700 damage from the Lesh. That's kind of demoralizing for Beastcoast when you have 4 heroes and you can't get a kill there and lose 2 of them.
And Shaman's level 6. Puppy. Ooh. Such a greedy support duo coming out from Secret. Like, their lineup is so greedy. I look at it, I'm just like, damn. Like, any of these cores with no farm just do nothing. Like, Leshrac needs farm, Venge needs farm. They all need farm. All these supports need levels and farm. And the fact that they're winning at this stage, I was favoring Beastcoast, but I just can't believe Secret somehow has a net worth lead with how greedy their heroes are.
Yeah. And now they are able to pressure the map with the early advantage of theirs. The Leshrac has max Edict, they've got the Serpent Wards, and while they pressure the map, of course, you've got Matu and Medusa who can just kind of sit back and farm, so this could bode poorly for Beastcoast.
Yeah, now that K1's been booted out of his lane, this free towers all around for Nisha. He'll just walk at this one first, then walk at the next one next, which is mid tower. They don't have the best heroes for holding mid tower. Sand King's decent with Sandstorm, just sitting yourself underneath the tower, but Whisper's playing for himself top. He's not going... Oh, he is going Blink. Okay, I was confused for a second. He does have the Blink. Tranquil soaring Blink. They definitely need the Playmaker now, because the status quo, a little bit too much greed getting away with on the side of Secret.
Yeah. And they didn't even have to commit Serpent Ward, so this mid tower could be in all sorts of trouble. Even if they see a Sand King there, the Lesh can just go in the trees to Edict it down, and they've got great wards down bottom, so they catch Schofield, who is not going to find a way out of there.
That was a really nice fissure to buy the extra 1/10 of a second to make sure that Nisha's stun landed before the Carapace came out, because that would have just been really annoying.
Yeah. Would have got the kill regardless, but yeah.
It just saves the time.
Yeah.
Right?
And the damage being reflected, whatever it may be. Oh, the Serpent Wards, maybe preventing Nisha from edicting from the trees, but not going to matter all too much.
Stinger's rich. Deny those wards, puppy. There you go.
Yeah.
Much better. Yes. He's trying.
Yeah.
Oh, not quite.
Nice done by Chris Luck to clean them up, get some gold for it, as they do hold onto their mid tier 1 tower, which feels pretty important right now. And despite how badly the last, maybe 2-3 minutes has gone for Beastcoast, they are still pretty even on the overall net worth difference here.
I'm just a bit nervous for K1 in the mid game. If Secret is allowed to get their items, it's much easier to kill him than it is to kill Matu this game. Because Matu's got a couple counter initiations, he's got saves with the Venge, and even though there's a Nyx on that side, on the other side, which seems annoying with the mana burn, I think Medusa will still be okay. I'm wondering if he's going to go the Manta Ags build, and the Manta Ags Ag Shard.
Yeah, the
which
shard
will shoot the shoot the snakes back out, get his mana back.
Yeah, I feel like that shard has made this Nyx matchup a lot more manageable.
Yes. You kind of get like a refund, you know? He can carapace you, I guess, but you still get the mana.
Mid lane, Secret rotate in. They want K1 holding on to defensive disruption, and once they see that Shadow Demon, Secret decide not to commit. They want to keep playing around this mid lane. Seems like they really want this tier 1 mid tower.
Yeah, he would have been a goner, but his own call down saved him. Zai on the Venge was slowed enough to not be able to get in position for the swap. As Whisper silently trying to
invisibility.
Yeah, I imagine Secret have seen this play because they had it for some time. Surely shown somewhere, but even if they know it's there, he's got to just find a play to make, and he's going to head towards this mid lane. Probably not the best target one to go on, especially when Yapso's in the trees with potential fissure, but they'll take what they can get. Running with the Carapace, Schofield.
forced out wards.
Okay, found that goal, but also probably just run away. as Nisha shows up, and not going to be any kind of objective from it, but still a kill nonetheless.
And Venge, Zai having space to farm. This Ag's probably the most value 4,200 gold on any hero in the game of Dota. Thoughts on that? I feel like Blink on Shaker, 4,200 gold on Venge. I feel like these are some of the most per gold item effectiveness in the game.
Especially when you're looking at like later on, like when you compare that to, you know, for a carry to have that kind of impact this time has, like they need 20k of net worth.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, to have the kind of impact the Shaker can with a Blink.
It's just like once Venge gets Ag, she just never has to farm again, right? You just run at people, and most of the time, if it's a team fight, people purposely ignore you. They don't even want to hit you because it refreshes your spells, guys. I'm not sure if people are aware of that, but when you die, your illusion gets to cast spells, and they are separate cooldown from your main hero. So you get an extra swap, an extra stun. The stun hits for 360. It's no joke.
There's the Epicenter Blink initiation. They take out the Shaker.
And meanwhile, top, Nisha's chilling. They use the Demonic Purge, and he's all good to go.
Yep. Oh, Matu's pushed pretty far forward here. Grislux pulls him back with the Vortex. Have they got the damage for this one? Stinger doesn't have a Demonic Purge. And Matu will be okay. Not quite as close as I thought it might be.
Not going Ags, is going for the Scotty, which can sometimes backfire against the Nyx because you're just giving yourself more intelligence for more mana burn.
Disruption was there. They're going to hit a Split Earth. Nicely played by Nisha. May just be able to chase down Stinger here. They've killed Schofield, and they're just going to get both supports with ease as Nisha edicts down the Tier 1 tower as well.
This maxed Hex build by Puppy is owning
Yeah.
against the Nyx Assassin. Absolutely owning. I don't think I've seen him carapace once when they're going on him. It's almost impossible against that insta-Hex, because even if you were to carapace, they'll just wait until it runs out. So I guess that was the idea. They didn't mind picking Medusa into Nyx as long as they had the insta-Hex from Shaman. Makes it almost impossible for Nyx to play. He wants to be able to reactionarily pop his carapace, and that's not the case here. He has one component towards his Ags on Schofield. That doesn't feel too good.
Well, Yaps are completing the Blink Dagger. He's got the money for it.
We are going to find out, though, if my prediction will come true in the near future here. As the 17-minute mark approaches and Philosopher's Stone hangs in the balance. Will it be found? Will it be discovered by the Nyx Assassin?
He doesn't even have a neutral item. Don't you
Okay,
get 5?
there are 5 of those per tier now. Broom Handle. That's like a double damage rune for Nyx. He only hits for 67.
Let's see. It's armor, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's value, man.
Yeah.
You're CSing right now. Look at this.
Yep.
If he misses any of these, it's because he doesn't have the Broom Handle.
Dire's middle tower.
We're going to pay attention if anybody lives with like 40 health or less and he's hit them 3 times.
Runs into a sentry. The Blink Echo. Yapsor deletes the Nyx, gets the Fissure onto the second.
Yeah, it's a sick Fissure.
It feels, I mean, this game not going anywhere near as well as last game, but this is kind of the Beastcoast motif, you know. Throw some bodies while K1 Hector farms, and in this case, Chris Luck also not there. It is the support lives.
My only question is, did they think going in, okay, he's acting like there's 3 heroes behind him, let's find out. Like, is that their mentality? Because if there's anybody behind Zai, that's never going to work.
Yeah. In my head, kind of with Beastcoast, is they're just like, you know, screw it, let's try, let's see what happens. You know, they're just willing to run and dive in. At the same time, you know, these are one of the best Dota teams in the world. I'm sure it's much more.
Like, the way my brain operates, I'm thinking they're thinking, I don't believe you, Zai.
Yeah.
You don't have 3 teammates behind you here.
Calling his bluff.
Yeah, but...
Maybe it's like, and if he does, we find out, and that means we can aggressively
Hector's
farm.
farming.
He can, farm at the entire enemy top side of the map, etc.
Because if they go on him and nobody reacts, Hector's probably scared of a smoke.
Great 2-man Burrow Strike with the follow-up damages there with the cooldown as well, and Zai does have the second life. The swaps Matu in with the Stone Gaze. He's trying to get in front of K1. K1 doing a nice job not getting gazed up, and they've killed off 3. They got Puppy as well in the backlines here. They do lose the Storm in the end. That was
Whisper
Nisha
looking to
finishing him off.
re-engage.
Yeah. Zai still has his Venge Illusion. Gets the Carapace out. That's going to take out the Illusion. The no detection for Schofield.
They're going to find Nisha.
Yeah, he's in trouble. Blink, Burrow Strike, the Impale there as well. The damage is more than enough. Martu's in a 1 versus 4. Sanking incredibly low. Can he do it on his own? Whisper needs to stay in biz. They don't have the
He runs
Dexter
out!
for him. Oh!
The sentry's right there.
It was... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, he ran just to the south of it. What a big kill to get.
Okay.
We need the fight recap with the Medusa. This is... Where's team fight recap number 2?
I'll look at it. Maybe it's on mine.
Oh,
yeah.
it's we got to combine. We got one of each.
Okay. So it's 17.
Oh no, I've got the
yeah,
second. I
yeah.
didn't see the first anymore.
Okay, so it's 1,800 gold swing, just those last 2 deaths.
Yeah. And they're trying to fight without this Medusa now.
And it's 3,400 XP. Wow.
I feel like Beastcoast just team fights so well. We saw it game 1. We're seeing it again here. Whisper. He was the man in game number 1. He's looking to be the man here in game number 2 once again, as he's just charging forward, hitting 2-man Burrow Strike after 2-man Burrow Strike. He wants more.
You're just chain feeding.
Another Burrow Strike coming on through. Zai with the swap out, but he's already dead. This is just his illusion. He will take out a Shadow Demon. That is just not going to cut it for Team Secret. They've given Beastcoast so much these last few minutes.
Okay. I was just curious what's going through Matu and Nisha's head to stick around there, right? Because you have Medusa Lesh, no reliable stun, the Venge Illusion was dead, both your supports were dead, and you're against, like, Nyx Sankey. You know, you're going to get caught. So it's interesting. I wonder what was going through their head to stick around. Definitely paid the price for it, as Whisper giving them the drop in the beats with that channeling and canceling Sandstorm. Yep. One of my new favorite things to do on Sand King when you've got nothing better to do. It's kind of like
how,
his taunts, right? It's kind of like
yeah. Kind of play a game of chicken with yourself is just try and channel it longer every single time. See how far you can push it until you accidentally cast it.
You have to make sure you're within blink range of a camp if you accidentally cast it, because then you can just be like, guys, I'm farming. That's my philosophy, at least.
Yeah. Spoken like a true ex-carry player.
Yes,
You're an off-lane player
Carry
now.
player stuck playing off-lane.
Yeah.
Yes. As Hector's got his BKB. Oh, Philosopher's Stone! We weren't even keeping track of it.
Did they have one?
Yeah, Nyx Assassin, he's got the Philosopher's Stone. Oh. That's like a 3-minute earlier Acceptor.
They did not get the double, though.
True.
I don't think Secret have one, at least not one that I see.
We need Secret to be up by enough gold where they're dropping items to taunt, and that will be required.
Whisper, Burrow strikes away, still being chased here. Nisha with the haste rune does manage to get away from the split earth. Yule Scepter as well, he's going to be fine. Whisper.
He's chilling.
Pushing his hero to the limits, and what's down here? It's Schofield.
That looks like a very standard Schofield death.
Yeah.
You know, so we talk about the dead lane being, you know, top on Dire, bottom on Radiant. I feel like if you look at Schofield's heat map and death map, it's all there. It's all there. Last game, Tusk, he was dying top over and over again. In this game, he's Nyx. Different hero, same game plan. Hector, top of the net worth, baby. You just ping that Acceptor, you ping the BKB, and you say, I got you, dog. Yep. As they committed Shaman Wards for that. And he's got the
money.
Philly. He's got the Philly, yeah.
You don't feel too bad about being dead when you go to Philly.
That's adopted from Fogged. I believe him and Lacoste call it Philly. I don't know who started it. I think Lacoste actually started it. As he's camping on the high ground. Oh, they see him, though.
Jump on in. Sankin gets hexed before he can use a Burrow Strike.
Nice
the vision
stun.
game. Nice disruption. Going to keep him alive a bit longer. Can he get out of this one? Oh! Yapsor, he mistimed the Echo Slam. They do still get the kill as Chris Luck jumps the backlines, wants the Shaman, but has to be careful. Has to respect the Hex. He gets caught by that. He's in all sorts of trouble. Two-man fish from Yapsor and Secret. They've got numbers. They want to chase. They want more. They'll definitely get Schofield here. Taking advantage of the high ground Observer Ward and Beastcoast. Completely caught out.
Yeah, I think if Whisper dies, Beastcoast has zero chance to take fights. I think his Blink Stone is way too important. Because there's a lot of cast animations on Secret. Leshrac, all of his abilities have some sort of cast animation. Same with Shaker. Even Shaman except for the Hex, so that instant burrow can be very disruptive for them to cast their chain of spells, and when he dies, it's really scary for Beastcoast to enter the fight at that point.
It's kind of the same thing, yeah, the Nyx and Sanking. It's just like, do they stun first or does the Hex come first? It's like, whoever gets their spell first has such a big advantage in this team fight when there is none of that. Like game one, we had the Silencer. It's like, there's that counterplay there.
Yeah, I always like competitive Dota because you think of like supports that are really good against cores, and then you think, oh, but if they have this support to deal with that support, then it's okay. Because you can't think about that stuff in pubs. So when you see it play out in competitive, it's really cool to watch. And the thing is, Zai, he has not progressed. He is going for the Ether Lens build, so he's going for more of a play around his spells than more like an aura. The other options are like Pipe or Vlads, or you can even go like Shadow Blade if you think you need to be pick off, but he's obviously got a lot of that. So he's just choosing to make it so he can swap further. That seems like a decent alternative. Bloodstone completed on Nisha. Both teams getting a Nether Shawl on their mid laner. It's pretty value here for both sides. That magic resistance. Both teams, for the time being, are predominantly magic damage.
Yeah.
Eventually, Matumba Man and K1 will be hitting with physical. Are they going to force them back?
It looks like they're intent on it. They've got Serpent Wards, they've got Diabolic Deep, they've got a Medusa with an Aegis.
Okay.
And only Sanking here for the time being. They've got to maybe anticipate someone in the trees too. Yeah, Zai going to scout him out.
You can't show because of the swap.
Yep. And this tower getting chipped away. I believe this probably forces Secret back with K1 showing up, and yeah, the whole team's coming in. So some decent damage from Secret, and yeah, most importantly, I feel like they just force the entire Beastcoast team back to the base.
Yeah, that's the goal of that move. And now Beastcoast, did they not have a smoke? Because that's like the only logical progression from there, and they have one, but it looks like they'd rather just reclaim their shrine. Okay, save it for better times later. They felt like that may have been forced.
Yeah. Skadi Aegis Medusa, so
yeah,
it's maybe a little scary to fight right now. How close? Yo, Nyx has Axe. Okay, so we do have that big upgrade.
Once they get Lotus Orb on Whisper, it's pretty huge. Against Venge Shaman, it allows him to even just like Sandstorm in the middle of fights, and he won't get swapped.
Yeah.
Or hexed or anything like that. I mean, you'll still get hexed, but you know you won't get a chance to. Just a very, very good item in this game.
Round 2. They, I think, saw here as top lane. Like, okay, you're going to go push top again. We're going to keep pressuring you.
No Aegis on flash.
Yeah, Nisha's going to be a little careful. The swap save is there. Potential Epicenter Whisper cancels that one for now. There's the disruption, making some Medusa illusions himself as Matu's going to be a little bit careful. Does get Burrow struck here. Does still have the Aegis player on him. Whisper getting sunned up, gets bailed out here, and now K1 goes charging with the flak damage. They take out Medusa once. Can they do it a second time? Storm still has full mana. He can come back in. He's got an Arcane Rune as well. Finds Puppey, and the Burrow strike.
Sick
Epicenter.
Burrow.
Huge damage on the backlines here. Nisha's trying to land Split Earth. He can't do so. Medusa, meanwhile, doing some good damage on the front lines. Got disrupted again, but they're just getting deleted. The Soul Catcher is doing so much here as Matu is so incredibly low. The Burrow!
My God, again!
Whisper cannot be stopped. This man
carrying.
on the Sand King is just demolishing Team Secret. His two-man Burrow strikes this game, I feel like I've seen at least like 7 or 8 of them.
You and I said the exact same words, like unplanned. You know, we did not coordinate that at all. It just goes to show that like it only warrants one reaction when you see those plays. Like that's just crazy.
Yeah.
This man is so good.
It's so consistent. He just hits like 3 in a row.
Schofield was always my favorite player to watch, but I unironically think Whisper is their best player. I think he is irreplaceable in this squad. I think they're all honestly all irreplaceable, but Whisper, man, I think you could tell if Beastcoast is winning based on Whisper.
Yeah.
Like whatever he's doing in the game. If he looks like this, they're winning the game. Just like last game on Timber, he's 10-1 K to D. But these type of plays are just game winning. Oh. He had to do 2 of them in that fight. And Chris Luck also dodged the Echo Slam by Yapsor. He was kind of predicting it. He didn't react to the Earthshaker, but he was constantly zip-zap zooping all over the place and narrowly missed on Yapsor. So that not connecting allowed Chris Luck to go back to base and reset, which was crucial damage towards finishing those targets off. So a lot of little plays, not just from Whisper, but either way, pretty incredible. And we all know Beastcoast is going to win because they got the Philosopher's Stone.
That was the way you said going right now. So the last game where, we kind of felt pretty good about Secret's draft at the start and things started okay, but then suddenly they're just team fighting so well here in the mid game. Everything kind of clicking all of a sudden, like even just the basic things like Medusa, you get disrupted, those Medusa illusions just absolutely destroying the Team Secret side as well.
Yeah, that's why I was a bit concerned when they picked it against Shadow Demon. Like, you don't feel bad at all just disrupting Medusa. Her illusions, like, Shadow Demon's illusions, I think are 70%. How much? 75% illusion damage. You're getting 150% damage when you get the 2 illusions. And as long as Medusa's locked down, they're probably not killing those illusions. So that's oddly terrifying.
And it's like, even when Shadow Demon shows, they don't really have that hero to jump. Like, yeah, Shaker has a blink, but you don't really want to, you can't just jump that one hero. Shaker's waiting to play that counter initiation, so. Whereas it's the opposite for Beastcoast. They've got multiple heroes who are happy to kind of jump in or jump the back lines, kill a support.
Yeah, I wonder if Venge Swap will negate this Nyx. You still keep him in Burrow Strike? But, or sorry, you keep him in his Burrow?
Yeah.
But the fact that he's not burrowed in like a safe spot anymore, maybe that'll be a crucial factor for them winning the engagement. But as of now, I'm just struggling to see, like, if you listed off a chain of spells to win a fight, I don't know what secrets are. You know, barring like a 4-man Echo Slam, which I don't think Beast Coast will give them because Sand King's always going to be in the back looking to blink. Chris Luck's going to be looking to zip. Oh, here it is.
There you go.
Maybe this is it.
Carapace, they drop the Serpent Wards. Here comes... Oh, Puppey gets the Hex off quickly, but no follow-up disables there. Chris Luck now BKBs, takes out Puppey to start things off, and they have lost the Nyx, who will buy back. Chris Luck getting a bit low on mana and health, has to ball himself out of there. As the physical damage is a bit too much to deal with, as K1 Hector on the front lines wants to go on Martu. Has he got the damage for this? Doesn't look like he's been stunned up. And with the Zai illusion coming in and sticking around,
I'm going to shut up
he's
now.
going to go down. Schofield does get out of the sentry, gets away from the stuns.
Okay.
Team Secret find themselves a good fight here, hoping for Roshan, but still at least another 45 seconds.
That I was suspicious that that might work, and Secret was very confident that that would work. The Lotus Orb even came out from Whisper, but Puppey willingly hexed himself. He's like, we got to make sure this Nyx does not Carapace. So it allowed Nisha to get like half of Schofield's health down by the time he actually Carapaced, which was pretty huge there. There's damage reduction from Burrow, guys. He's tanky. I think it's 40%. It is. I can't see it when he's in Burrow. Oh, it is.
You hover the axe, maybe? No,
50% damage reduction. That's a lot. 50%. That's double your HP. Daedalus on Matumba Man. No BKB yet. He is queuing up the shard and the BKB. He definitely needs those.
He's probably hoping for Roshan Shard, but
I don't think they're going to get Rosh.
yeah, that's probably comes down to whether or not he's going to need the shard for a potential Rosh, but because for now, just work on the BKB, get the shot afterwards, and see what happens with Rosh.
Let the dice fall or the cards fall, whatever that saying is.
Cards play, dice fall.
Okay.
I don't know.
Your
See how
guess
the
is as
cookie
good as
crumbles.
mine. Cookie crumbles. That's a Bruce Almighty classic.
See which way the wind blows.
That's even more classic. Okay. So that buyback's going to hurt Schofield's item progression, for sure. Whisper going for the Eon Disc. He's just going to be like a meat shield for the team, except the initiation that Secret has, which is a pretty big item this game.
Just like finds himself a rune. Zeiss is fishing. He's happy to throw away his life. You kind of mentioned his job being the initiation with the, you know, he's got the axe, he's got the second life. He can always have more swaps later on to save people as well with the illusion.
He's a kamikaze, you know. He jumps in, you kill him, he's gonna like blow up on you, you know. That's exactly what he's going for, because you just get all your abilities back. That's a lot of damage. What is he needs that level 20 talent on Zai. I think you would take the magic missile damage this game.
Stinger gets caught out. A little bit out of position, perhaps. There's the epicenter. Burrow Strike follow-up. They've already killed up Puppey. Nisha can't finish off the Sand King because of the Yules, but does do so once he lands, and Sand King going to immediately buy back. Stone gets being committed. K1 in some trouble. He's just going to look to turn and fight with the Satanic.
That mana
Can't
burn.
quite fully lifesteal up, and yep, mana burn deletes Medusa's mana pool. The Echo Slam is there, but Martu, he's still so damn low, and K1 going to come in for the cleanup. Rocket Barrage takes out the Venge, and Yapso dies as well. Only Nisha surviving in the trees. Oh boy.
This is just an insane Nyx game, and we saw Puppey negating that early on in the game, but now that they have Lotus Orb that Whisper is using almost exclusively on Schofield, and then this axe, like, you're not able to take this Nyx out of the equation anymore. Yes, he ends up dying, but at what cost? As the second Rosh will be going to the side of Beast Coast, who's going to take the shard. Sand King Shard's pretty good. Storms is okay. I don't think Gyros is worth it in this specific instance. Looks like they're giving it to Chris Luck. And Scotty on Hector coming out soon. Battle of the Scotties. The only difference is that there's Nyx on one team and there's not Nyx on the other team. So after both heroes Satanic, or after both heroes sustain the fight, I guess I'll say, one hero will still have mana and the other one will not. So I think long fights benefit Beastcoast pretty heavily.
Perhaps different story if they can kill the Nyx at the start of these fights.
Absolutely. Completely different story if they can.
Has the Aeon Disc queued up, which, yeah, the logical item to get after the Ag Scepter. He knows he just needs to stay alive in these fights. And
cue the song, baby. Stay alive. You can't help it. You just can't help it. There's no turning back.
one of the few songs, like, as soon as you say that, like, it's just in my head.
Yep.
I like it.
Hopefully not for too long. You know, you're not going to be in your hotel room tonight. Okay. First tier 2 tower going? Oh no, we actually lost a tier 3 bottom. So.
Oh yeah.
Dyer's top
This game has slipped away from Secret because yeah, they
They
really
were in
mid,
control.
yeah.
That Nyx Ags, I'm telling you, it was online just in time for that secret push that we were talking about.
Yeah.
And it was because of the Philosopher's Stone. Game changer when it comes to Nyx Assassin specifically. There's very few neutral items in the game that I think can drastically change the outcome, but I do believe with Nyx Assassin, because the hero does so much with one item, but has no way of getting that item, Philosopher's Stone makes just a day in that difference. As BKB, I'm a Tumba Man, so he will have 9 seconds where Schofield cannot push W on him and remove all of his mana. So that's good.
Definitely. This entire team screams like you need BKB on Team Secret, which is where, you know, Medusa not a traditional BKB carry, but definitely against this draft.
Kind of just got to suck it up and die like 3 times first because you're in denial, you know? We've all been there, carry players, you understand. And then you're just like, well, it's time. I've been stunned for 12 seconds in a row by this Nyx Assassin. I will buy a BKB. He has the Enchanted Quiver too, which is quite a nice item on Dusa. Let your regular attack be queued up from further away. Hector, 2.5 minutes on the Aegis. That is a feature that players can see. If you guys were not aware, you have not, you know, you've been living under a rock or outside of under a rock because you don't play Dota all day. They did add that just recently. So there's no more, whoops, I died right as my Aegis expired. Unless you're oblivious.
Are you a fan of that?
I personally like it because it's like a skill thing that I don't think like adds interesting mechanic to the game, but there are the players that record at the time and everything. Yeah. What about you?
I agree. I think it's a little, not gimmicky, but it's like knowing the exact second or whatever. I think it's fine to show.
Nice, okay. Same
We're on
page.
the same page, yeah. Yep. Little cheeky Lesh illusion, poking around. Swapping on the Nyx. He wasn't burrowed, but he's got the Aeon Disc. Can he get into the burrow afterwards? It's perhaps too late. He's been hexed now as well to jump in. Storm, Chris Luck gets gazed up. Does manage to zip his way out of there. They've taken out Puppey. That's a lot of the disables. Nisha in trouble getting chased down by the Skadi. Gyro is the damage there. Yes, it is. Beastcoast run through Team Secret once again. And no Stone Gaze, no BKB on Medusa for the high ground defense.
Schofield's Mr. President here. Get down, Mr. President! As Stinger's like disrupting him, Whispers Lotus Orbing him. They use literally everything to save Schofield. And you can tell Secret knows, like, this guy has to die.
Yeah.
Like, this guy is the carry of the team fights. As Hector is the one just pushing the right-click button.
Yeah. Well, we're at the point where you can't just totally ignore Hector now.
No, this is the dream as Gyro, because the way you beat Gyro is focusing him down full to 0, and there is no way they can afford to focus Gyro here. So that feels really good.
Yep.
I think Gyro is the be-all, end-all carry in all of Dota if you can't afford to put 4 heroes on him and kill him. With the Nyx Assassin threat and even the Sand King threat and the Shadow Demon save, it just seems near impossible for Secret to play these team fights. I said that earlier, though, right before they won a team fight. So, you know, I'm just trying to make it interesting for you guys. This is me trying to do whatever I can to give Secret a chance to make the game interesting.
Aegis is expiring, so
we know that.
For Team
they
Secret.
know that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they're smoking around this time, so I know there's a little window. Do they go for that swap? Puppey was thinking about some kind of a play. Starts with the Hex. Just trying
get him
to
low.
bait out a reaction here. There's the Lotus Orb.
Don't finish him.
Well, You got to imagine Beastcoast themselves are saying, yeah, that we'll dangle him, but we're not going to commit.
Yeah,
we're
nice
not going to get
try,
baited.
nerds.
Schofield's very far forward here.
It's not 20 minutes into the game anymore, Schofield.
He's got the Aeon Distill, burrows on in. He's baiting this one. The Storm, Axe Vortex catches up 3 with the Burrow Strike follow-up. It's a huge triple kill for Whisper. His Sand King has been the hero of this game, and he continues to put up a hell of a performance.
Get your poggies out of the chat, guys. This has been... This is just such clinical play by Beastcoast for both of these games. Secret, I think they got caught with their pants down this series. They were not ready for this caliber of
K1.
Oh my god, again!
Another 2-hero burrow into a 2-man Vortex. They thought they had an opening, but K1 just satanics and chuckles it off.
He's just flexing on him at this point.
He's like, hey, you just hold me in. Blink, Echo, Yapsor
Okay.
takes out Whisper.
Okay.
Takes out the Storm, Matu.
Okay.
Have they overplayed their hand? I don't think so. They're going to buy back the Storm. I think Beastcoast are smelling victory here, so they're going to go all in. They're going to be a little bit careful, but they've got 4 down. They're going to force out a buyback, and Matu, if he dies, he's got a buyback, so maybe he can kind of keep things going a little bit longer. Zai swaps out. It's just his illusion, but he needs to keep this alive for the defense here. He doesn't want to lose it.
He needed that.
Yeah. Medusa would love those auras.
Oh, that's brutal. He's dead for 90 on bench. So it's so important because he's like their disruption on their side.
Yeah.
And now, yes, Yapsor can fissure them, but if Matu walks up again, there's no Echo Slam.
They get
Even these illusions alone.
disruption. Oh,
Mana burn his ass.
playing the objective game. Be a little bit careful. They did use and commit some buybacks there. K1 has his, but Storm definitely saying, you know, I'm not going in. They're respawning. Shaman, he's got all his disables.
Double damage top. Are they going to scout it? Looks like Kersluk's going to see it. Why not at this point?
Yeah.
You know, who needs damage items on Gyro if you just give him a double damage rune?
Kersluk says that's mine.
Oh, never mind.
He's
Jump-baited.
got the some overload bounces now too. It's level 25. And now time for some tier 4 items. They've got a few more to pick up still. East Coast get themselves a 2 racks advantage and a 22k gold advantage over Team Secret. Potentially about to 2-0 one of the top teams of the tournament, perhaps.
The aesthetics cap is like an insane item in certain games, and I feel like this is one of them. It's like a pseudo Eon disc, right? Like, it's not as good.
Radiant are scanning.
But
Who's gonna carry this one?
I have to imagine it's one of the supports.
Sanking with the Trickster Cloak. Psychic Headband, and what's next? He's still on the Philly. He's like, this item won me the game. I can't part with it.
It's honestly, like, the item that I was talking about, the aesthetics cap, is so good that nobody's going to use it because they know that the game is already in their favor pretty drastically, and that would just be unfair. So, thank you, Beastcoast. We appreciate you in more ways than one. As Nisha is faking the Diabolic Edict, making the Leshrac duo a little weird jiggle there. He's very entertained, I guess you could say, is why he's doing that.
For Secret, I see a relic queued up, and I'm guessing that means, yeah, a rapier. We're in that desperation territory. Down 4 racks.
I thought
Late
you were
game
going to say
Medusa.
Radiance. No, this is definitely where you got to go. If he dies one more time, the game's over anyway. If
Yep.
you can say those words in a sentence, then you probably just need to buy Rapier.
As for Beast Coast, they may give him some time to get that rapier up. They're content to sit back, wait for next Roshan, I imagine. Play things safe. You're looking at, the 3rd Roshan, so Refresher or Aghanim's coming into play.
Yeah, K1's at the point where it's time to consume that Ag Scepter.
Yep. He's already playing Son's Boots, so see where things head. As yes, both teams will little peace treaty for the time being. Definitely, I mean, considering how today started for Beastcoast, this is quite the turnaround that we're seeing so far from them.
Yeah, this is considered one of the harder opponents, at least going in. So. Chris, like, you're tilting me. I'm imagining it's pretty bad for Super as well. Mira doesn't know what she's done, gods.
I think the PPD one's more annoying, more tilting.
Well, it's also really tilting when you're owning. You know, like you actually are owning and you're using PPD's line.
Yeah.
The thing about the Mira lab is that you could just spam it when you're feeding and your team's
Yeah.
winning, you know, and you're still just as tilting. So I think the
It's more
the up-
multi-purpose.
Yeah, it's the potential of the PPD one. I think is higher. I agree with you there. He's going refresher on gyro. I guess that's like for the double DKB eventually. The seventh
Got
item.
the slots for the, yeah. It's like,
Yeah, he's going to
some issues?
consume the Ags. I guess he's waiting for buyback plus Ags.
even when he consumes the eggs, he's got an MKB, so I don't know whether refresher. fits
Yeah,
in, but-
seventh item.
Okay, so it's, yeah, the old backpack one.
That's when you reset the fight, swap it in. Who does the Ags go to? Storm's already got one. Probably
Shadow
Shadow
Demon,
Demon.
right?
Yeah, that's
That
pretty
sounds pretty
gross,
good.
actually.
It's either him or Sand King.
If you break Venge and she dies, does she still get the illusion? Because it's tied to her passive.
Oh, they give it Sand King. I think Whisper's like, I've been carrying so hard. Give me this one.
Honestly, like he's landing two-man burrow strikes when it's not double the length. So why not give him some length?
How many? Are we going to see more heroes in the Bar Strike? Nisha. That's the Ag shard, so we're going to see more and more split Earths.
That thing's annoying. But I don't think it's going to matter this game.
Each one just happy to stand outside of it. Do what he can. They're just happy to just chip away at this one. Maybe the swap in. He's not Barred, but he's got the A on disc. Ball in from the Storm Spirit, getting the backlines. That's Puppy again. He keeps going down. Doesn't have that BKB or an
Nick's
A on
gone.
disc. Taking out Nyx, but he'll just buy back. The Stone Gaze being committed. A1 getting low, has a Satanic. Can he lifesteal up through this one? You betcha. Still alive, still holding his ground, still fighting. As Shaker goes down, multiple buybacks from Beastcoast. They want to force this. They want to end this one. They've got 4 dead, and that's surely going to be GG. You know what else feels good? It feels good to 2-0 Team Secret for Beastcoast and their fans. This is a huge win here on day 1 of the TI group stage. That sends a message to everybody in Group B, I believe.
This might be the best series I've seen in a long time by one individual player. Whisper.
Yeah.
Whisper just styled on these fools, man. Secret, that might as well have been 5 knees on Secret, man. They were getting owned. I mean, honestly, Secret, I think played pretty well. I think they,
Yeah.
like, this average performance by Secret, I think would have been good enough to beat most teams. And Beast Coast, I think they played above what people would expect them to play, but we've seen them be able to consistently play like this.
Yeah.
So keep it going, Beast Coast, and I've got high hopes for them.
I mean, that was a truly, just star performance from Whisper. And the thing is, it's the whole team, I think, played well, and they particularly played well, like, cohesively as a team, as a unit. But, yeah, Whisper, what a...
I think the highlight of the tournament for me so far has been the fact that there was one fight that Schofield got swapped in, and they used all their saves on a 4 position. I just thought that was such a peculiar dynamic to a team fight.
You
don't
called
see
him
that very
pesky,
often.
and he
Yeah.
really embodied that in this entire series.
Yeah, Nyx. Yeah, he really roleplayed the text. He just bought into it. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're not done for the day. We've got one more series here on Stream D. What do we got in store for us, Brian?
We have Alliance versus Thunder Predator.
That's the one. So one last series to end today. Both teams struggling a bit here on day 1. So teams that need a win or need a couple of wins. So stick around. We'll have more Dota 2 action coming your way. You're watching the International 10.